Oops, got my camera was right then. Silly thing, need to go through the window. So, I know there's only a couple of people in at the moment, but it's just one of them weekends, I think. People have their kids back at school, and some of the invert community that I'm friends with, they've all got a show on Sunday, which I might be going to as well. So that's going to be okay. Well, that's going to be awesome. It's been nice seeing people again. I only go to a couple of shows a year as it is, and I already went to the Barnsley one, so I'm going to the Wigan one, so I'll be like, yay. But today I'm just thinking of selling stuff that are obviously brand new, not secondhand. That is just frigging wrong. It's just going towards me paying off bits of, I'm still paying it. I paid off at least a couple of, so 100, say about one, nearly £200 now off me, the bill for Gizmo's vets. So I'm just thinking of other ways, because obviously when you have YouTube, especially me being a very, very low, not having it, I'm just not, hello Daddy mate, having not as many subscribers, that's a word, freaking hell, tongue tied, I hate it, but not having as many subscribers, believe me, you get paid pittance. It's really not a lot. It could take, they only let you take out £60. It could be $60, but I know it's in the UK it's £60, and sometimes it could take me 2 or 3 months just to acquire that much. Hello Mike, or not Mike, Mick Spanner. I've actually found some of your stickers, because when we went to Urbageddon, not last year because I didn't go last year, but the year before, I actually found some. Now I've hopefully kept them aside, because I was throwing a load of junk out. You know, like you do, you go into a drawer and it's like, where the hell's all this come from? It just all accumulates all in one place. So I thought, nope, let's get rid of some of this junk. Just do it every now and again. Just do a spritz, just get rid of everything. Just needs doing. Just annoying, to be honest. Oh yeah, that's it. When I did the giveaway, obviously I've not sent all the giveaway stuff. They are separate in a different bag upstairs, obviously, so they don't get full of bugs, and I'm not sending people mysterious bugs and they'll be like, ugh. There's plenty of stickers up north now. That's where I've been working. Why am I not surprised, Mick? Why am I not surprised? No, these ones hadn't been used. I think that when I seen you a couple of years ago, I took a bunch off you, and then didn't you? I know. Then you ended up washing a load in the washing machine by accident. So it was like, But these ones, there was nothing wrong with them, and I'm like, oh, maybe if you want some back, I don't need this many. Even though you were attacking everybody with your stickers. I mean, I remember having one. It was on, I think it was on my walking stick or something, and I stuck it on the back of my brush, so it's there permanently. Come on, do as you're told. Hang on, there's no visual. Where are you?
Good evening.
Can't see you.
Yeah, you can't for a minute. You got to wait till I get on my computer.
Okay, I didn't know you wanted to sit on top of it. Oh dear. So I'm in a sarcastic mood, so you'll be right.
How is Jackie? How is everyone?
I'm all right, just a bit dehydrated, so I've got some water down here. All I've been doing is drinking loads of water, fruit tea, because I found the coffee was making me, mine it's a diuretic anyway. If you drink loads of coffee, it makes you pee for bloody Britain. And the tea that I have is just the fruit tea. So, yeah. Hello, Lily. But I thought, nah. Hello, dude. Steve. For some reason, I had a mind block and forgot your bleeding name, and I don't know why. Because I got a T-shirt off you. Good grief. I need to throw a load of stuff out in this room. Again, just that builds up as well. And you're like, the thing is, there's only so much you can put in your plastic bin, so it's like annoying. But the bearded dragon's out. Go on.
Any particular subject tonight? I want to talk about.
I know what you want to talk about. It means what's in the news. I already know. I want to talk to you about that in a bit, but I've got a few things I want to see if anybody's interested in doing. I won't do it obviously this week, but next week, some stuff that I might do as a raffle. I mean, a majority of the stuff I'm going to do is a giveaway at some point anyway. It's just some stuff, but I'm not doing it today because it's just making people more aware. Because I've actually sold 2 of my tarantulas, believe it or not.
Oh.
But unfortunately, I couldn't post them out. The girl understands, because one had just molted, and they take about sometimes up to a month to harden their, the outside of the skeleton, the exoskeleton. And the other one, just the day that I was getting ready to send them off, flipping molted. I'm like, no, you couldn't make it up. I was like, no.
Why? What's wrong with them molting?
When they molt, right, basically their outer body is really, really soft. So basically they won't eat, and they've got to wait until it hardens up. So basically in the wild, they're at their most vulnerable.
Right.
They can obviously, if something attacks them, it can kill them. It can be quite fatal to them. So you have to be so
always
careful.
learn something interesting on Jackie's streams, I'm telling you.
I've got to take this off. I've had to put the heater on in here. So I'm up to 25 degrees in here now. But it's the first time I had to put it on because it's been off most of the time. But as long as when it's on, when the heat wave's back, then I'll just turn that off again because it was getting toasty in here.
I know it has gone a bit chilly, hasn't it, today? Yep.
I've got to go pet shop and buy loads of food for the snakes. So that's joyful. So I've got 9 snakes in here. You've been kidnapped.
I'm here.
So I've got the bearded dragon out. She's been out all afternoon. I just leave.
Oh, I know them bearded dragons. I've met a couple.
Hiya, Barry. If you want to come on chat, let us know, dude, and I'll send you the link. So I've not seen you in bloody ages. But yeah, and I think I sent the link, the code for StreamYard to Steve. Don't know about Matt. Matt's gone missing. Don't know where he's bleeding gone. He's probably out on an adventure somewhere. So yeah. So I've got I call the nickname for the bearded dragon, even though she's called Forest. She was already called Forest when I got her. The nickname that I call her the Missus, because if you're not letting her out, she's having a little paddy at the bloody enclosure, like, let me out. It gives her lots of exercise so she can run around the room, and any bugs that have escaped, she just catches them and eats them. So yeah, it's good for her, really. So I'm waiting until a few more people come in before you go on, because yeah, it's a lot easier then. You're not repeating yourself.
No, true. I know what you're going to talk.
I know what you're going to talk. I've got an idea because you've already said it, but I've not said it now, but I've seen some of your shorts on YouTube, and I think I might have seen Facebook. So I've got an idea about it. But I've been watching over the last few days while it's been building up and building up, and everybody's talking about it. If they're not, I'd like to know where the...
I'm absolutely blinding mad because it happened in Oldham, but we'll get to it.
What happened in Oldham as well?
Well, a similar incident, Gavin Opley. You must have heard me mention Gavin Opley.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it on one of the shorts.
On one of these little shorts as well, mentioned Henry and Gavin, but I'll tell you about it in a minute. I'll tell you about it when... Interesting stuff if anyone wants to listen to it, and everything's factually true. I don't make shit up about cases and things that have happened in real life and that. I don't.
Oh no, it's all factual stuff at the end of the day. I want to know who the buggering else shouting me on bloody WhatsApp. I'm going to kick their ass. Because it came up, because I've got WhatsApp connected to my computer, and it came up, and I'm like, shit, where is it? So I weren't obviously coming out of this because they just have to wait. People know that I go live at 9. I must go alternative Thursdays, but every now and again, I just think I'll just give it a rest for a while. It's not that you do run out of things to, well, I do anyway, sometimes run out of things to talk about, but yeah, this recent one, it's awful.
I'm off to Spain next week.
Ooh.
10 days in a friend's apartment.
All right, cool.
And then eventually I'll be going back to Colombia.
Oh, you're taking Cassim?
Yeah. It's probably got to go another 3 times now.
Yeah.
So we'll be headed there. But when I go back, I'm going to try and like do some wildlife like stuff.
Cool.
Because I actually seen a hummingbird in the wild. You know what I mean? And it were a bit mad.
Yeah, they're quite fast, aren't they?
Yeah. And you can hardly see them. They're so small and blend in with everything else.
I think there's something like the size of your thumb or something daft like that. Meant to be.
And then I don't know. I'll probably ask to have some of you for advice, but like
advice.
So like when I walked out of the complex, and then there was a couple of little parks nearby, and they're like dog walking areas. Yeah, because they love the dogs there. And
yes, they do.
There's a bit of concrete, you can sit down and that, but I'm not joking. When you walk past any bush that was like a hedge, when you walk past the hedge near it, it was so loud with insect noise at night. It really was.
UK onto the wildlife, because at one point you would hear the field, or there's loads of grass, areas, and you could hear it. Now you hardly hear anything. It's completely dead, and it's like, where's all the wildlife gone?
It's in fucking Medellin in Colombia. That's where it is. And then some guy seen me sitting on grass, and he said,
sit down,
round here, just put a mat down before you sit down. I said, why? He said, because like the insects here are 10 times bigger than the insects in wherever you come from. That's what he said.
Yep, they are. Colombia, is that like part of South America, or is it Central?
Yeah, South America.
Yeah, they will be. Because even the tarantula, even some of the tarantulas down like near to the Amazon forest are big. And then obviously some of the big snakes come from South America as well. So it's like, oops.
So I'm gonna try and do a bit more like that. Try and look into the wildlife. While I'm surely in Medellin, they'll have a place where I can go like and learn about what's there and all that lot, what kind of creatures are around, all the different species of hummingbird and stuff like that. So
yeah, cool. It is cool. I mean, the wildlife in this country, to me, I've seen some, but it's very sporadic. You hardly see anything, and it's I'm like, why? Where is it all? They're too busy frigging doing houses for people that, it's just more and more houses. But then they leave all these other buildings all derelict and do nothing. And it's like, sometimes it's better. Sometimes they either should flatten them or at least maintain them, and then put certain particular people in them instead. Not in all the bloody housing where half the people that actually live here or legitimately from here, working, paying into the system, they should be the ones that get the priority.
Oh, I actually have got more to say. I've got I can talk about Art Said Meats.
Yeah, I've seen some about that. That's the one up in was it Mosley?
Yeah, can I if I can send you a video of someone that videoed it, and maybe you could play a little bit of it, but I'll get it up in a minute when the computer
You can
comes
send
on.
it. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can.
You can play a YouTube video or stuff like that, but I just want people to see something, and because there was some authorities started saying things that were just not true.
Oh, you're sending it up.
I'll explain.
I think I should be able to bring it up on. Think. Yeah, I might be able to. Hello, Mark Urbex.
The guy who has spilled the beans on it all is called. He's got a YouTube channel called Joey Carbstrong. But
Yeah,
I'll get it up.
just put it in chat.
I will. I'll get it up and I'll put it in.
No, Daddy's just put it in the chat. Here, I'll show you. There you go.
What's that?
He's already put it in chat. If you can read what it says, you still got no camera on, you know.
Yeah, it is, Dazzy. It certainly is. That's exactly the one, mate. Exactly the one. And I'm a meat eater, me, but it's them videos he's got are absolutely like horrifying.
Yeah, I've seen all that. Bugger now. So, will you put yourself on camera before I come down there and blake kick you out?
But I'm on my phone. I'm waiting for my big computer to come on. Then I'll put myself on camera. I promise it's loading up now. It's not been on for a week.
Oh, any feeble excuse, you're fired. I put mine on sleep mode. So then you'd have to wait 10 hours for it to boot up. Hello, you. Yeah, I'm feeding you all tomorrow. So you don't all try and eat me. So they won't eat me, but you know what I mean. Yeah, you eat for your food. You coming over here, you? No? Fine. Fine. Did you send out to, what do you call it? WhatsApp, in fact. See if I can bring it up. No, I don't see anything up on there at the moment. So if it's graphic, I'd have to be careful on here because they get a bit.
It's not too. It's a video done by one of the like YouTubers, and it's just the roadside. A bit of roadside video.
That blood all running down the side because of obviously what they do, the way they slaughter their animals. Yeah,
that's the one.
Yes, I've seen that as well myself. It's not good. Definitely not good. What are you doing? Not you, the snake. Yeah,
so I'm a Brexiteer, me guys. I voted for Brexit, but one of the things that I was concerned about is food and food safety and stuff like that, because at the moment we're looking at maybe getting chlorinated chicken from America, and the meats and all that are very highly processed and stuff. And you all know that stuff's no good for you.
No, it isn't.
And this was one of the things that like I was concerned about in food. And at the moment, you can go in some shops and get pretend cheese.
Oh, it's disgusting. It really is. Cheese slices are horrible. It's like eating plastic.
Cheese slices and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm not into all that, me, really. I'm not. But I want standards of food. And if anyone's like 50 or 60, do you remember the scandal of horse meat in our schools?
Yeah.
It went on in Grange School, several schools across Oldham, loads of schools across like the Greater Manchester area, because schools were buying like their own food from wherever, and they weren't researching it properly. They weren't going to people who were properly regulated. So, so you know, I'm not ignorant to the fact that like that there's certain standards and ethical moralities we've got to have around our food. And like I said, I'm a meat eater, me, and I've worked in the abattoir right up to the packaging of meat and stuff like that. And
Hi,
we've
Mark
all,
Lewis. Sorry.
no, it's
Go
all
on.
right. No. We've always had standards to adhere to, and right now, just looks like a lot of that's being thrown out at window. Whether
Yeah.
it's to do with being in the EU or not, it probably isn't. But you know,
It's any
we need
feeble
to.
excuse, really. They just use that as an excuse. Oh, because you've left the EU, blah blah blah. So it gives them the right to do all this to our meats. I mean, they've been saying ages ago. This is why I can taste the difference now. We were getting all our meat from the butchers, but he's shut down, and I've started buying stuff from the supermarket, and I can
Yeah,
taste the difference. And I keep saying, no, I can't eat it. This is making me sick. This is
yeah.
horrible. So I'm going to go and get some things from the butchers again tomorrow, but from obviously the inside market. I don't want to eat this crap that they sell in the supermarket, all the stuff that they do it to keep it on the shelf to make it look heavier and and thicker. No, because they put all water and all sorts in it. No way, that's horrible. That's why if you put it, in the oven or if you fry it, grill it, whatever, it just integrates. It just disappears. There's enough in there, enough. Ugh. Same as your fruit as well. They spray stuff on to make it look good in the supermarkets. Yep, the greengrocer, they get it fresh. And again, you can taste the difference. Just think of all the chemicals they're putting on that, and that's going through all your fruit. Yeah, it's more expensive, but what's better, your health or saving money?
Well, they're already putting our farmers and that at high pressure. You know what I mean? Their food production, and like they should be one of the main things we have in our country to keep them going. We can supplement with getting things from other places, but no, we should have more thingy. But just mad.
They're too busy importing stuff from other countries rather than using the natural resources in this country. That's what they're doing. It's like we've had, our own fuel and everything. They obviously had coal mines, but obviously some of it was dangerous. But I'm sure they could have thought of or done something that was a bit more safer. But then, natural oil from the sea and farming, vegetables. But no, they have to go and get it from somewhere else. And half of it, to preserve it, they're sticking all these chemicals in it. And then that's going into your body. And it's, it's you, it's your children, your grandparents, your parents, your aunties, your uncle, and he's gone. Your aunties and your uncles. You're all having this and you're ingesting that. And then people are wondering why they've got so many illnesses and elements, stuff that you hardly heard about. And I do blame an awful lot of the stuff that's in the foods. Was he back?
I'm still on my phone. I'm just waiting for my computer to boot up. And then I'll jump on my computer. You can see my lovely face and all that. When you can see me getting a bit angry and wound up, I'm talking about stuff.
No, I was just saying all the stuff that's all processed and everything, and obviously people are ingesting that, and it's going through families. And I think this is why there's so many illnesses you hear about, and you're like, where's this coming from? It's got to be all the crap they're putting in the food.
Well, I mean, there's loads of reasons, but yeah, processed foods is not good. It's not. It can be a supplement, but we shouldn't be having it all the time. But now people eat processed foods 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and
Yep.
it's not good for our systems. It really isn't. And like, I don't care. Well, I do care what health officials say, but I don't think there's going to be anybody who's like nutritionist who'll say that yeah, processed foods you can eat them all the time. No, you can't. They're there
No,
to supplement, aren't they?
your body are basically it's like a machine, and it's not going to work too well. You're processing all that naturally, so it's going to definitely cause some sort of upset. So it's just not right.
Um, like I said, chlorinated chicken and hormones. A lot of the meat in America and some from like New Zealand is high in hormones, and when we was in the EU, they didn't like that hormone meat. But now we're out of it, it's coming back in and coming into our systems, and then obviously they brought in the bovine to stop the cows farting that went into the
The
meat there.
ozone, I remember all that. Farting in the ozone, that's like, that is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard. Yeah,
Well, I'm not a climate denier, no chance. The climate's always changed and it will change, but the way they're doing it, and we have to cut our hands off for like solar power and all that. No, I don't want to cut my hands off. They've warned us. The government have warned us last year that there could be power cuts in the UK. That's what they said.
Yep. But there's no reason for it. But then aren't they even using that across the seas as well?
Yeah.
So, and that's why it's so expensive. Why don't they use the natural resources in this country? Well, they're not. They're trying to make us rely on these other countries, and we can't afford it. Hi, Dave. So
I don't think it'd take long to start up a new like coal mine, and we're in the age of technology. A lot less people die underground than they used to 50 years ago. It's simple as.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Safety and all that. Get a bit of industry. We don't have to cut our hands off. We can still work on solar power, wind power, whatever, but we develop it, but keep our power security. But we're not in that position. A lot of countries in Europe are not in that position.
Takes the absolute piss. It really does. People shouldn't be living like this. We're meant to be, evolving, not devolving, going the other way. What the heck? It is. It's ridiculous. We need somebody to get their stick out of their arse and to get somebody decent in power, because we can't
get
this shit.
Vote John Lawrence, that's it. Get me as Prime Minister, and have a lot of our country's wars sorted out by tomorrow.
They're going to do something, because this can't go on. And this outrage that's went on about that, was it Henry, what's his last name? Novak. So that's bloody awful, that. So, and the thing is, so I was saying to Simon about it, he said, oh, nobody will do anything about it. It won't be on the local news. Well, I've flicked through YouTube, and it's been on all the news channels, and I thought, no, this is going to be frigging spill over. People are not having it. They're sick of it now. That is bloody wrong what happened to that poor kid. That is awful. And then they want to know why people are not relying on the police, because obviously this is going on too. So that's frigging ridiculous. And it's them that are not helping, because they're getting to people to hate them more, because they're not, catching criminals. They're just letting them off. So people are angry at the police, and they're angry at the people that did this. They actually pulled their finger out, and, people got done. People wouldn't be so frigging angry.
Anyway, just to quickly change the subject. So, if I'm going to South America and I want to look at insects, how's the best way? Can I get infrared heat-seeking things to look at the bushes at night? Is there anything like that I can get?
I do not know. I'd be careful though, and not pick anything up you don't frigging know what it is. That's it. Majority of stuff I've got an idea. If I don't, I know people that I can contact and talk to, and they'd be like, what's that? But South America, well, Colombia, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm sure that there's got to be something you can probably take or get over there that can help you observe insects. It's got to be something. I wouldn't know what. So yeah, that's an interesting one. And then obviously you need to be aware, because sometimes you can get anti-bite boots, because you might have more chances of snakes out at night.
Malaria, there's a malaria warning, but where
you
we
take injections though when you go over there, don't you?
Well, no, because we're based in a complex where you don't really have to go out. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you're going to
And
go out. You're going to be interacting with nature and stuff. So,
yeah.
yeah. And don't forget, these things are going to come in. Wouldn't you have like nets? But you're going to still take the injection because the last thing you want is get something like malaria or yellow fever or, you know, whatever. It's like, it's, and you don't exactly want to be paying hospital visits over there because they're extortionate. Unless you have travel insurance and stuff like that.
I didn't have. I've been twice, never took travel insurance, and I didn't really have an issue with insects. But I did, like I said, I did hear them, and I knew they were there, and I seen them hummingbirds and that, and some other wildlife. But I know they were there. But like I said, it's a complex where we are, and
Yeah,
you don't even have to go out of the complex, really.
that's cool. What? You're getting fed again tomorrow, you? I gave you a load the other day. Getting dirty looks off the bearded dragon now. Oh, yeah. That's a thing, right? I was at the pet shop last week and I knew about the thing that was on your video outside Chris's shop about the
Oh
girl and
yeah,
the guy. Yes, because I was talking to him about it. Then later on, this is before I went home, he says, come here and have a look at this. I'm like, okay. Walked over, looked in the camera. Only this girl was stripping off and putting on some new clothes. I'm like, is that ass I can see? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, really?
what in that little
Really?
corner? In that corner?
No, no, the other corner, right. You know where Chris's shop is? And you go
Yeah,
through that tunnel, you know, the main one near the spindles?
yeah.
I think there's some steps that belongs, I think it's not maze, I think it's one of the others. There's some steps or something out the back. Well, the girl was on there and she was changing into some new clothes that she had bought. And I thought, any normal person, if they want to put new clothes on, would go down the escalator inside the shopping centre in the spindles and use the toilets, not strip off starkers. I just thought, really? I'm sorry, but no. I couldn't believe it. What is wrong? It's this heat bringing out people that just want to strip off and do things. I thought, no. And then when you go in that ginnel, it stinks. I think they need to put shocks on the side of the walls. So each time somebody has a piss, they get an electric shock.
You have you been to the shop this week?
I'm going tomorrow.
All right, they've knocked down the 3 Crowns next door, haven't they? It's well down.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's going. Isn't the police station and the magistrate courts as well going?
Eventually, yeah, they're building a new police station.
Fair enough. Hi, Charles. Bloody hell. It's just, I don't know. There's nothing going to be legitimately left in bloody Oldham. It's just all, it's crap. There's nothing decent. They're just, I don't, it's just like throwing the money away. I mean, that's why I'm glad I only visit the town every now and again, because there's absolutely bugger all to go there for. I prefer it up here, away from the town. I really do. It is a lot better away from the town sometimes. So much happier away from there. There's, yeah. I mean, obviously years ago, I used to love going into town and looking for things. Nope. Ah, right. Okay, Charles. So there isn't. I mean, he's the only big pet shop around there. Because isn't the inside market one gone as well? Because she retired.
Yeah,
So
I don't think it. Yeah, And it's not in the new market either, the pet shop. So yeah, he should be in the new market, Chris. Oh, well, he should have a shop better suited for him.
Yes, he should. But the thing is, he doesn't want to. He's been saying since I bloody known him now as well, that he wants to move from there and he wants to come up towards on the hill. You know, up towards on there on Huddersfield Road on the hill, so to try and get a shop there. But there's a pet shop on. There is an actual pet shop here. It's on Rippenham Road, but they don't have. They don't have any live animals in there though. In fact, a lot of them places are all shut down. It's like anybody that's got any live animals are doing. It's like the councils are trying to shut them down and keep penalising people for really crappy reasons. Just trying to find reasons to shut people down. I mean, at one point, you used to find loads of pet shops you could just go into, have a look at the wild animals, decide whether you're going to come back and buy it. You'd have plenty of choices to where you could buy. You can hardly do that now. But then I've been seeing more things as well, because obviously I've seen videos where people, certain people have been kicking off about dogs because they don't like dogs. It's like, well, hang on a minute. You're in a country of people that have got, dog lovers. Why should they restrict or keep them away? They shouldn't. If we went to their country, we'd have to respect their values and everything else. So they're in our country, so why can't they do the same here? They're trying to implement everything they know here, and it's wrong. All right, Mark. Fair enough, mate. That's it. They're shutting them down. Because a lot of them, they don't like all these animals. They think it's wrong. So eventually people will be like, yeah, but I don't need this right now. I don't need it right now. But when you do, it's not going to be there. It's going to be gone. And it starts your domestic pets, they restrict them, and then from your domestic, it'll be your tropical pets. Then you won't be allowed to own anything. You'd be lucky to be able to own a goldfish. So it really says it all. So yeah, I mean, I've noticed over the years as well. When I started getting, obviously, animals years ago, a lot of the stuff was cheaper and easier to get hold of. Now they've made it friggin' 10 times harder. And you go into the supermarkets and you're getting pet food, and it's really expensive. And that again is all it's all crap. It's not even full meat for cats and dogs unless you go raw. And I can't bloody afford all that raw cat food. It's pretty expensive. But we are noticing an awful lot of problems because of the diet. So again, I think it's affecting an awful lot of people's animals. It's not good, but I definitely think that's what's going on, and it's not bloody right. Have you got that bloody computer on yet? No, it's lost sound. Yeah, let me know if anybody wants to come up and put the world to rights. Sometimes it is the best way to do it sometimes. But then they say, well, what do you do? And this is why people have organizations, and you start finding places where you can join, or at least try and build one up. This is how people do it. Yeah, he's gone. So I do think something has to be done, because we are going to end up losing everything that we were well known in this country for. So yeah. And the thing is, if it affects one part, like in the UK or in England, then it can affect people in Scotland, Wales, everywhere, Ireland. Funny thing is, I was trying to send something. I think it was somebody wanted some jumping spiders sent to them in Northern Ireland. But I actually started looking up about it, and it's like, no, I can't. You cannot import something that small into Ireland because you'll get into trouble. But I thought that was still part of the UK, but apparently it isn't. It's like, So I tell you, it's gone bloody mad. It really has. And then somebody today was showing they had an enclosure that they'd got, and it went through. Hello, dear. Rock me, Amadeus. But yeah, they got an enclosure, glass enclosure. Fair enough. The person that sent them this should have put it in maybe bubble wrap and maybe some polystyrene to protect it. But it somebody else said, well, they had their stuff protected, and then it was I was trying to think. Yeah, somebody got something and it was protected and it was still smashed up. And at the end of the day, from what I've heard, is they have some legitimate workers, people that have been working there for a long time. Always here. They've had people that have been working for the for Royal Mail for years, but any of people that start working there now are all in agencies. Well, they don't give a damn about your stuff, and half of it's getting chucked around and all sorts. And that's why you're getting stuff with boxes that have all been dinted with big dints in it, and maybe rips in the corner and all sorts, because they don't care about your stuff. And you're paying all this extra money, and these people are treating you stuff like that, but they're not having proper workers there. They're all agencies. Well, they don't care. It's just stupid. So yeah, it is. It used to be a time that everything. You're right, Mike. Used to be a time that things were taken care of, and you would actually get stuff. There used to be a first class and a second class. You'd get post maybe in the morning, actually in the morning, and then you'd get maybe post maybe later on in the afternoon. Got rid of that. I'm thinking of trying to get rid of weekend post. So then basically the post that's been sent from Friday will all wait until Monday. So basically everything will be backed up on Monday, which is frigging stupid. Go on. I know you're dying to talk about it. You!
So guys, we're going back to 2002, and there were three teenagers, 19, 20, and two 19-year-olds, 20, something like that. Gavin Opley and two other lads, and they've been out in Oldham. And if you remember Oldham at the time, Union Street and Yorkshire Street,
very busy.
They got to Waterloo Street, near where the library is, and they'd gone down Waterloo Street, seeing cars parked up, which were taxis, and they tried to get a taxi. They've gone under the bridge. They're not from Oldham. Gavin was from Rochdale. I think the other couple of lads are from, but they've gone under the bridge and then ended up getting chased by a gang of Pakistanis. It was a year after the Oldham Bradford riots. So that part of the community was really still tense. Now, there was nothing ever brought out that they said anything nasty. They went down there looking for a fight, nothing like that. And Gavin was actually a security guard. So he would have had to have been trained back in them days, 2002. He would have to have some kind of training and like he was a security guard in a shop. So there was nobody was shouting Packy or anything like that. There were none of killed a black back, nothing like that. It wasn't that. They was trying to get a taxi home. Now, all three got chased, and Gavin, unfortunately, didn't get away. One other person got tucked into somebody's house near Greengate Street, just under the bridge of Waterloo Street. And the other lad made it back to town. Now, why is this significant to me? Obviously, I live in Oldham. I seen the riots. I seen Glodick burning. That's where I was born, Malba Street in Glodick. I seen it all burning and stuff like that. My dad sort of like warned people in Oldham in the 90s what were coming. And when we had the riots, it was blamed on the things that my dad and other people said to the council at the time. My dad was West Indian. There was white people saying it. There were even Asian. There was even Muslims or Pakistanis saying how the council were doing things wrong and the way it's social housing. This is all documented in a report called the Ritchie Report. You can look at it yourself. It's easy to Google up, and it's into the riots, and it says it all in there. So we'd had the riots, got it burned, there's loads of arrests on both sides. The BNP sort of like came up here and stuff like that. And because of it, and obviously they were branded with being the BNP and that, but the things they said then are all true. That's why we're having CSE inquiries. That's why it's all about child sexual exploitation around the news. The things they said back in the early 2000s, no one would listen to them. Not people like, no one would listen to them. We were brainwashed by saying these are nasty people, but everything they said, guys, is
happening.
What they said about different kinds of people coming over with their kind of culture. It's all true. It's unfortunately, it's all true. But anyway, so the year after Gavin walked down, so 9 lads, they run him down in Glodick, and the finishing damage to him, this is stated in one of the articles, is a guy did a leap off a fence to kick him in the head. And I'm unfortunately, it doesn't say in the articles, but he got robbed as well. That's in the articles. But what they would have done, they would have kicked his head while he were on floor, unfortunately. But that never got said in the articles. But I believe that they would have done something like that. So the finishing blow to him was running up to a fence, grabbing hold of it, leaping off and kicking him in the head onto the floor, smack. He died a week later and never regained consciousness. And there was 9 men involved. And in the end of the trial that they had, and it lasted a good few years, the highest sentence was 21 months. And the lowest sentence was 9 months between the 9 guys. One of them lied. One of them lied and said he wasn't there. And then another one of the perpetrators who was getting done, he shopped him in. And in the article, I'll just read what it says here. So this is 2002. And obviously, everyone's seen child sexual exploitation's big and all that lot. But like, people think it's only just been happening. That's what they think.
No, it's been going on for years. It's all been brushed under the bloody rug, hasn't it? I think since social media's come around, things are getting more out there. So that's why people are getting more outraged. Whereas years ago, you could see it building up, but people that were just stuck in these places far, far away, they didn't see any of this. But no, it's not happening. No, it's not.
So this is Manchester Evening News article 2013, and it reads, Mohammed Zubair, aged 23, later testified against Raza, this is the one who lied, after charges against him of murder, rioting in Oldham, and unrelated offence of rape were dropped. So they
dropped all of them
kind of charges on someone because you shot someone else in. And so obviously I'm from Oldham, and even though it happened like over 20 years ago, I once heard a Muslim Pakistani lad bragging that they could get away with murder. And
they can, and that's the problem.
And like, we're not going to stop here. Gavin's parents, Gary and Lorraine, said they felt let down by the justice system. You can easily Google up Gavin Opley's death. You can easily, and yeah, it is a pin-up thing for if you want to.
By the way, people that are not the Northerners, it's Hopley, not Opley.
Hopley, yeah.
Hopley.
Now, you can say it's far right. It's not far right when I lived in the town and I actually experienced it. And why this is more connected to me than people know, I was out on that night. And as I was walking up to Waterloo Street, there was a lot of police presence, and a copper came over and said, "Have you seen any lads being chased?" And what it was going on about was Gavin and his two mates. And I pointed towards where they'd gone. I said, if they'd gone that way, they're not coming back, because we just had riots a year before with Pakistani community, which is segregated because it's been documented for 40 years. And then I pointed the other way, said, if he's gone that way, he's getting a taxi and he's getting a shag. He's on his way home. That's what I said to the copper. And then I find out, the next day that a lad was attacked. I find out the second day that it was at the time when I was out. And on the third day, I find out his name and more of what happened. So that happened, and that's Gavin Opley. And if people have been seen, Henry Novak. Obviously, Novak's a Polish name. He's second or third generation Polish, but he was.
There's quite a few Polish over here, but they've always been known for being hard workers.
They've integrated well, Jackie, as well.
That's exactly.
Why they've integrated well. But so in Henry's case, he was on his way home, and he was accosted by an Indian guy, and
but it was Sikh.
Well, he might have been or whatever, but he stabbed Henry. Then there was a phone call to police saying that Henry had racially abused them and knocked the caps off and stuff like that. And none of it was true. They lied. And it's not involving the Kirpan. The guy had a Kirpan on him, which is a small 6 to 8 inch ceremonial knife that they're allowed to carry. Then he had another knife that it was a religious one, but it wasn't anything that he should have been carrying. And the mother came out. She took the knife, washed it. His brother obviously lied as well as him. So they've gone to court. They've got data off Henry's phone, and there's nothing. He didn't racially abuse anyone. He didn't do anything like that, and he was wrongly set upon. And these people, even in court, was calling the parents racist and saying everything's racist against them. I'm sorry, guys, that them people need to be deported ASAP with no time for that kind of thing. So now Keir Starmer and all the political leaders are at it. Oh, his dad said, don't say anything and don't make it a political issue. 2 years, 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, we had Black Lives Matter. Which went worldwide and got political. There was people in England running in local elections and parliamentary elections with Black Lives Matter on the leaflet.
And they had the wristbands as well, didn't they?
Arut Shah, our council leader, put George Floyd's picture on the side of the Civic Centre. Yeah. And look how that turned out. And they were all on the knees to him, and all people have done is attack anyone who's said about Henry and stuff like that. Well, I'll tell you what's going on my leaflet in my next election. Henry and Gavin, and I'm going to do something uptime for Gavin. I might get a little demo going on in Oldham, Waterloo Street. Who do these people think they are? And, you know, I'm not looking at it as a view of right wing against left. I'm just looking at it as a view as a normal person who's experienced more than other people. I've experienced more than half these idiots who were in elections and stuff like that. They haven't had any life experience. Did they see the area where they were born burning against the nighttime sky with Hartshead Pike at the back? Did they see that? No, I don't think they have. Have they witnessed, or have they been part of a town that suffered an attack like what happened on Gavin Opley? No, they haven't. No, they haven't. Have they suffered? Well, they haven't suffered riots. You know what I mean? People just don't get it. And, you know, I'm not making things up there. You can Google up Henry's case and you can Google up Gavin Opley's case. And everything I say is absolutely true. And people seem to, there has been some documentaries, but they'll never talk to me because I don't talk the way they want me to talk. I don't. And I've been in front of other Muslims and talked the way I talk, and they don't like it because it's truth. It's truth.
Truth hurts, that's why.
George Galloway's party, George Galloway and Rangzib, who ran for the Workers' Party Oldham Group, who's a Pakistani, but Pakistani, first generation Pakistani in Oldham, says, take Pakistani politics out of Oldham because it's so corrupt. That's what they say. That's not me. That's not the white guy down the street. It's not Tommy Robinson or any of them. It's not Lawrence Fox. It's a Pakistani-born first generation guy saying we need to take Pakistani politics out of Oldham because it's corrupt. That's what he says, not me. Not me.
That's it, though. These are Muslims. They've got plenty of other countries that, you know, accept them. If they keep saying, well, their country's better, why don't they go back to them? Why do they try and implement all their policies and all their faiths and the way they do things over here? We don't want it. Doesn't make you racist. It just means we don't want to live the way they do. So you're well within your right. I don't want to bloody be eating stuff halal meat. I'm sorry, not happening. You know, I don't pray to. I know you believe in God, but I don't. But still, I wouldn't pray to their frigging God. In fact, a little incident happened to me the other day. But I just completely blanked him. Basically, I went into the post office and I was posting off some live creatures. And Sam was coming back late, so I thought, bugger it, right, I'll get myself a butty. So I grabbed myself a butty, a cake and a drink. And the bloody look I got from the guy behind the counter, because I was eating during their festival. And I'm like, but I don't believe in any religion. So you can sit that right there. I'm not calling you about your religion. Whatever you do is down to you. You know, I don't care. But I'm well within my right. I will be bloody eating. If you want to fast, that's your choice. Your religion, your choice. I don't care. Well, I respect what you want to do. But don't think I'm going to bloody abide by it. You can stick that where the sun don't shine. No way.
You know, I'll agree with you, correct. But like I said, I'm not making it a particularly about religion, although I would have some issues to say. But it's how corrupt these people are.
Exactly.
And, we give them, I'm sure, I'll Google up how much we give Pakistan in foreign aid. And I'm sure it says that it's so corrupt and, you know, like we shouldn't be giving them money.
Exactly. Are you able to come on, Steve? Or are you at work or something? Because obviously your timeline's a bit different. Like I said, if we go over to their country, we've got to abide by their rules. And obviously, you know, some women have got to cover up and all sorts of malarkey. But here, no frigging way. You know, you do what you do. I don't care.
Yeah,
it is really annoying. Sorry?
Foreign aid and systemic corruption are deeply intertwined in Pakistan, with corruption and elite capture costing the country up to 6.5% of its GDP annually. International donors have increasingly tied development and humanitarian assistance to strict government reforms to prevent the siphoning of resources by political and economic elites. And, you know, I'm not saying they're all corrupt, but, you know, like, if we're going to take from a corrupt country, we're going to get more corruption here.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's other Pakistanis who say take Pakistani politics out of, like, Oldham Council. Not me. It's not me. I've just got to say it's not me. That's what other people say. And it's just madness. But, you know, the Henry Novak case is unbelievable. Let's look at what's happened now. I don't think someone Henry.
I do believe that, DR, because obviously other parties have to work their way up to actually get themselves in, you know, with more politicians all over the country. But yeah, if Restore doesn't get anywhere, it will be reform. Because nobody wants this anymore. This is taking the absolute piss. Are you going to come over here? You're just going to keep eyeballing me, you? I'm not getting the snakes out because they all want their food. I'm not getting munched. Even the big snakes are out. Especially that bottom one. What the fudge? Ah! Everything is playing out. Exactly. That's exactly. Why do people message me? Oh, it's all right.
I'm trying to find. I'm sure, like his mum tried to move the knife and that, and I don't even think she's been jailed. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. You know,
aiding and abetting, really. They're basically trying to cover up the crime. Well, I'm sorry. You won't see it here. We've just found him because I'm surprised they didn't even say something like that.
We can't have people in a country who hate people like that. They lied. They said the police handcuffed him, and Henry was saying he couldn't breathe and he had issues. And then on some body cam footage, that he slumped when he's trying to walk somewhere. And
Yeah.
you know, like, and honestly, and it's through people. I'm telling you this, guys, you in the chat. It's through anyone who says things like racist, anti-Semitic, Islamophobia. That's all you hear from our councillors and MPs and Keir Starmer and stuff like that.
Well, you're not being racist. You're just voicing, you know, and you're not even allowed your bloody free speech. So they just try and shut you down.
That's what's killed Henry. So you're best not saying them words. You're best not affirming people with them words, because that's what's killed Henry. And you know, I'm 60 years old. I'm 59 in July. I'm not stupid. I'm well researched in the things that I talk about and stuff like that. And I've always, if you've seen me political ride for the past 5 years, I disgust at saying them words. I hate saying them words. Them words are killing words. And Henry has suffered the ultimate fate through everyone shouting racist, racist, bigot, bigot, transphobe, Islamophobia, or anything. And we never had this problem 20 years ago, guys. No, we never had this problem. No one had a problem, wasn't offended by some of the things you said. Nobody said that word or took it seriously or said it with any venom. But now it's a word used to shut us down. And Henry's white. Would it have been like this with would the case be like this if the roles were reversed? Absolutely not. If the roles were reversed, it'd be on world news, even though it is on world news now. It would be bigger than Black Lives Matter and George Floyd. But our stinking council leader, Arut Shah, former council leader, put George Floyd's picture up on the side of the Civic Centre in Oldham. What is that about? What you know, you just couldn't make it up. And you know, I'm not making things up. I've just got to tell people I'm not making things up. Everything I've talked about, you can look at it yourself, and it's all true. And it's been true for 20 odd years. I wasn't politically active 20 years ago. It's not like it just happened yesterday. So it's made me really mad, this. And with being an activist and that, and going to meetings and all that, I've publicly said that I'm going to be bringing this up and Gavin Opley meetings. So if you have a Lib Dem meeting in Saddleworth, I'm going to be there. We have a Tory meeting in Brighton, I'm going to be there. If we have a Reform meeting in Failsworth, I'm going to be there. If they have a Labour meeting in Central Werneth in Pakistani land, I'm going. I'm going to go to the surgery on Waterloo Street. I'm going to tell everyone what I think about this, and I think about people who affirm them kind of words. And Henry's suffered for it, and he didn't do nothing wrong. There's people making excuses up for that Indian family. I'm sorry, I don't normally talk this graphic and that, but that family needs deporting. And any of their members of their family need deporting. Any of their friends, if anyone's at court supporting them, they all need deporting as well. I'm sorry, I don't normally go that graphic. But if this was any other country, if this happened to a Pakistani lad by someone of some other heritage in Pakistan, that other somebody would be dead. He'd have been shot dead and been given the hanging or something like that. But not in England. Not in England. Our leader starts calling everyone far right. Our leaders start putting people down for not talking about it. Yes, Henry's dad came out. So Henry's dad's come out and did a statement, didn't he? And I know the police well. They've sort of like talked to me and told me to shut my mouth before of things I've said. So they'll have gone to Henry's dad and said, right, listen, do a statement. The best thing, do a statement. Otherwise, you're going to make it very political, far right, this, that, and the other, and everyone's going to kick off. And he's done a statement, but everyone's kicked off anyway. You know, it's just making me so mad, this. And I just hope, well, I don't hope, I pray that I can get to some council meetings, including reform ones, and get vent out on them what I think about this situation. And I'm going to. I'm not. When I say that I want to go and talk to the councillors, I go and talk to the councillors. When I say I want to go and talk to the police, I go to the police meetings. So don't nobody take me for a fool that I'm not going to back up with what I say and say what I think in public. Because everyone's had a taste of me. Reform, the Labour Party, the independents. I go to their meetings and I tell them what I think. And I tell them what I think they should be looking into and stuff like that. So just mark my words, guys. We'll get it on video footage and stuff like that. And you'll see me going to town on people over this. It just made me so mad. And, you know, like, they've obviously got an agenda to get us all kicking off of each other. I agree. If anyone says that, I agree with you. I agree with you. But the way they're going about it is just the wrong way. And what's going to happen, there's going to be riots now, and then people are going to get arrested, and some of them will be guilty, but many of these people would have just been there at the time. And what happened in the Southport, they came in, they got them into the police station, the absolute right, you're not getting out of here now, you're looking at least 3-year prison sentence. If you tell us, though, we might cut that down by a year. So are you guilty, or did you? The pressure on them like that. I know what the police are like, and everyone knows what the police, anyone who's had engagement with the police on a negative level in whatever you've done, know what the police are like. And that's what would said to all these people. And they should have gone not guilty. That's what they should have gone not guilty. But I'm sorry, guys, I've got videos of over the past few months saying something's going to happen. The police are going to do something, and it's going to riot. And it wasn't specifically on the death of someone, but this I knew that this was coming, and it's really ticked my box. I'm not even. I don't normally get this like wound up, but it's so obvious what's gone on, and I just can't believe it. And now everyone who says anything being far right. There's no police going on the knees or anything like that around. We should have all senior politicians in Parliament kicking off and saying to minority communities, you're not having it all your own way. That's what they should be saying. You've got to integrate and interact with us and get this woke thing thrown out of our establishment, because it doesn't help anyone. Don't help the white guy. All this wokeness don't help anyone, including ethnic minorities. Don't help you neither, because it puts you on the back foot. Then the media are all after you. So it doesn't help anyone.
When can you?
It doesn't help anyone.
No.
It just made me so mad. It really has. And like I said, I got pulled the night of Gavin Opley's murder by the police saying I'd seen anything, and I hadn't. And I told you what I said. And that happened on the night of his death. And I've never, even though I'm not guilty of anything, I you know, like casual, I said he's not coming back if he's gone that way. If he's gone that way, he's got a taxi or he's got a shag and he's gone home. That's what I said. And, you know, like that stayed with me since 2002. And it's always been in the back of my mind. You know
Well,
that.
going down there, people knew it was rough down there, so that's the reason why. At the end of the day, people actually legitimately from round here know if you go down that area, you're bloody taking your life in your own hands. There's certain no-go areas you do not go, especially on your own. Otherwise, you're going to be in bloody trouble. And then I was reading, not reading, something that Simon showed on the YouTube. There are certain people going, especially going around London, and they're going around and pulling people up. You know, if they're drinking and doing all sorts, doing their Sharia law. And it's like, why?
Sharia patrols.
Yeah. It's like, really?
Right.
Oh, they're drinking. Oh, that. Oh, sorry, but no, that's not my religion, and it's not their religion. You know, if these people are going out and drinking, no. I'm fine, thank you, Sarah. I hope you're okay. I hope you're all right.
So sorry about the intense and angry sounding, but it's just wound me up, that Henry Novak case. And
yeah, that's awful. That
a lot of people just won't understand, like the way I do, like, because it's happened to us in Oldham with Gavin Opley. You know what I mean? People haven't been in that kind of situation. When you've been in that kind of situation, it's sort of like, honestly, my dad in the early 90s, it's well documented this. He was a big community leader, my dad. He founded the West Indian Association in Manchester. He's one of the founders of Great Manchester West Indian Association, Oldham. He was a chairman of the club or secretary or whatever of the West Indian Club in Oldham. He was governor of Alexandra Park Junior School when it was a junior school at the time. He also was on the National Lotteries Funding Commission, giving money to have parks done and all that. So my dad were really big in the community. And in the 90s, he said to the liberal, that mainly liberal Democrat council at the time, he said, look, your housing policies that you've got, you're putting everyone in the same area, and it's creating racial tensions between communities. And he also highlighted about education, because they were putting the kids all in one particular school, and then they weren't integrating better with others and stuff like that. It's still like that in Oldham now. So that's what my dad said to the council. And he's Windrush generation. He was monumental in everything around Manchester to do with the West Indian community. Further abroad, Birmingham, Nottingham, Bradford, Leeds. He was well known across the board. And he said that to the council in the early 90s. Then they didn't listen to him. Obviously, it ended up with the Oldham Bradford riots, and there was a couple of incidents that sparked that. There was particular attacks that went on. There was a Muslim couple attacked verbally, I think it was, and then what sparked it off was there was a veteran attacked in Wearmouth and beaten up. I'll find his name, and that was sort of like the biggest spark. But when after the riots, we had the Ritchie report, IRTCHIE Ritchie report, and it said the things that my dad had said to the council a few years before. It said about the housing, it said about lack of integration, it said about education in the schools, it said all that. So, you know, my dad seen it coming, but, you know, and that was in the early 90s, and nothing were done. And do I think Oldham's changed much? Not really. Even though you might see videos saying it has, I wouldn't say it has changed. It might have changed, but it's not changed for the better. We've now got a corrupt council. There's at least 20 odd Muslims on council, and I reckon half of them, more than half of them, are corrupt. And you know, we've let them come in, and we know this through evidence of other things that have happened in the past. You know, and so it was all there to be seen, and no one's acted on it, and that's what winds me up these days. That we leave our councils and government to run us, and they don't run us. They're not bothered about us, just bothered about the pet projects wherever they are across the world. They're bothered about other people and other countries. Yes, there's no. Yes, I agree. We shouldn't be going into war in Israel and Palestine. I understand that people are being murdered, but like them particular issues is governing our politics in the UK right now. So I'll just go to the chat. I'm just going to go to the chat and do random things out the chat. let me do. So let's say, let's look in. I want to see female in the chat, like Sarah Robinson 759. So Sarah, you've got a son or a daughter, and they're not going to be able to get an house because of the stinking way that our housing is been globalized for everyone else in the world, and type of landlords and stuff like that. So you're not going to be getting an house. Admit audacity. Admit audacity. So while we're at war with everyone across the world, you're not getting that pothole fixed that your car's had a bash up 3 times on run. It's not getting fixed. Council aren't bothered about that. They're more bothered about putting George Floyd up on the side of the civic centre than they're bothered about that pothole at the bottom of your road. Simple.
And that's coming out of taxpayers' money, and you're paying for that. You didn't ask for that. You rather have things fixed properly instead of putting all that crap on the wall. It's got nothing to do with us.
And a lot of you know I talk about HMOs as stuff like that, honestly, you know, and I'm not against them, but they're not regulated properly. And in 2023, at a meeting in the St. Chad Centre in Hollingwood, I said to the 2 Labour councillors and the housing people there, I said, we want them HMOs sorting out. And one of the councillors turned around and said, the council can't do nothing about it. Well, they can, because they brought in new regulations. You know,
they do talk crap,
people
don't they?
think that, like, I'm not an Einstein. I'm not a journalist, fancy journalist, or anything. But it's not like I don't know a few things. And he said to me, we can't do anything, but the councils can. You know what I mean? They're not bothered about your bin collections or anything now.
No.
I mean, they're really not bothered. And like I said, they more put the money into putting picture up of George Floyd on side at Civic Centre, and that must have cost some money. No matter what happened, that must have cost some money. Even it cost £100.
That could have went to something a bit more beneficial.
And we've left our damn corrupt politicians, and they've just screwed us all over.
Yep. And then I was reading again, the bloody what's the council tax going up again? Whoa! Didn't it go up again in the new tax year in April? Yeah, and apparently it's going up again. Brilliant. People have got shitloads of money, not.
And you know, like there's something you hear a lot. I'll tell you this now, and I don't tell you as a financial expert or anything, but you hear a lot of, oh, when we get in, your council tax won't go up. Now, I would never say that, me, because we're going to need money into the system to fix it in the first place. Things don't cost nothing. And if we want to deport all non-British citizens, that's going to cost money. You know what I mean? We will save money in the long run, but it'll cost money. If we're going to buy back houses that are owned by people in Dubai, it's going to cost us money. So council tax will go up, and we're not going to be able to just change next year. If Nigel Farage takes control of government next year, don't mean things will be smooth sailing, guys. You know that. Any of you who know, and you work with pets, there's a lot of hard work before they're giving birth or the eggs sorted out. There's a lot of hard work into it before it happens, even though it's been, but you know all this, you lot. You know it all. I don't have to say. There's a lot of hard work to come, so there's going to be a load of hard work. Things aren't going to change instantly.
Hi, Tom, on a mission.
Smooth sailing.
I know, £6 for some toothpaste. I mean, really? Why is this all going up? We can't bloody afford that. Even our water, I refuse to pay for it. They're putting so many chemicals in it. You put that in a glass of water and you smell that. You can smell. It reminds me of the bloody swimming pool. I'm not drinking that.
My left is coming out now. My left is coming out. Thames Water should come back under our control. Thames Water is an absolute scandal what's happened with privatisation of some of our services. I'm not going to blame any particular person because every government that's been in the past 30 years are all to blame. Whether it be Labour,
everything off, didn't they?
Margaret Thatcher, Tony Blair, they're all to blame on this.
Sold them all off.
And you know, I take, even though we sold Thames Water off, I'd just take it back off them. I give them the big finger. I take control of it totally and say, you're not having any money because we bailed you out so many times, and we're going to invest into our water system here. So it won't be a water system for profit, for it'll be a water system to reinvest back into the water, which then we'll get cleaner water and we can do stuff with the water instead of relying on other people. It's like renewables. Now, you know, it's never going to work. It will work eventually, but we've got to develop the technology. And if you've got a mobile phone, since 2000, since the year 2000, or when these come out, the advancements we've had in 20 years is unbelievable. And your phone is a supercomputer compared to what it were 20 years ago. So let's dig some coal up and oil. Let's keep our power going. And let's develop cleaner energy. Let's develop things and give them time to develop. You know what I mean? So that's the lefty in me. I want it nationalised.
Yeah, because even I remember when the trains used to be, in fact, I've got badges somewhere and it actually said, you know, British Rail gone. It's like, really? You know, you don't have anything like that anymore. There's nothing to be proud about, to be honest.
Well, British Rail, right now, obviously, privatisation's good. Sorry, not privatisation. Getting it back under our control's good, but we've got someone who's British, who has British things, who pays British tax, Richard Branson. Why can't we give him some of the main lines and let him deal with some of the things? That stinking HS2. Let's get HS2 up. I can't believe that HS2. I really can't.
What's HS2? I'm not too sure.
High-speed service.
Right.
And I seen a video on TikTok and some guy said he delivered something to that HS2 to one of the yards.
Yeah.
He had a phone call a week later saying he's had to deliver it again because they've lost what they delivered. And he said that the load that he delivered was worth 30 grand.
I said, people have got that. How can you lose 30 grand's worth of load? Honestly, that sounds a bit. Sounds like there's been a bit of blade backhanders going on.
It was supposed to come to Manchester, but it's going to West Midlands, and it's gone over budget already. I can't say by how much, but it's just been a joke. You know what I mean? And I think it's not. It's foreign investment. It's not British investment. You know what I mean? It's costing us loads of money. You just couldn't make it up. Our government are run by like fucking clowns, guys, clowns. And what we don't have the correct people in our councils and that. We don't. And I've pointed this out, me. Arut Shah is not an Oldham council leader. She's an ignorant, woke, stupid,
ugly. She is. I'm sorry. She's not even pretty to look at.
Doesn't know nothing about her history. Doesn't know nothing about Oldham or the culture here or anything like that. Stupid person. Honestly, I've called her out a couple of times, and we don't have them kind of people. We don't have the right people running our council.
You want people that are actually legitimate, you know, working class people, people that are with people, you know people, not all these people that bloody born with a silver spoon in the gob and know nothing. Those are the people you do not want. People have got the silver spoon in the mouth and like, oh, I know too much. Oh, this doesn't really happen.
Right.
You know.
Anyway, so enough about that political rubbish. Right. Enough about that. Jackie, we talked a bit earlier on. We've had trouble at Heart's Head Meats in Mossley.
Yes, I knew about that.
On video, it's come out. I'll just get the video up if I can find it. There was some leakage, and then there was blood all over the floor outside.
That's awful. That's got to really stink. Ugh. Nasty. New Subterranean network. Okay.
Jermaine Unfiltered. Right, I've sent you the link anyway.
Let's have a little
separately, but
I see it, but I just don't want it to come on. So if it comes on, it's going to go echo, and it's like no.
And Joey Carbstrong, Dazzy mentioned it earlier on. So he's done an investigation into the abattoir, and they're treating the animals really unethically, guys. Even
let me just take that off a minute. Yeah, I'm not having an advert on.
They're not stunning them correctly, and UK law states that I'm 59 in July, and anyone in the 40s and 50s, you remember about animal welfare and stuff like that. So we brought in stunning, and we, as a country, we decided that the best way that we can slaughter animals is by stunning them first, and that's UK law. Now, obviously, there's some issue with religious things, but they're not stunning these animals properly. And some kind of drainage thing burst, and there was blood and guts going down the side of the broadcast lane. But let me just check. It was just gross. It was just gross, guys. And even for me, and I'm a meat eater, it was not nice. And I've lived up Mossley as well, and I've spent a few years around the area in question.
Why won't it let me do it now? Forgot how to bloody do this now. I'm asking it, unless I open. No, I might have to open this on another screen. I'm trying to go onto it through StreamYard. I forgot how to bloody do it. Right, share screen. No, that's not it. Extra camera. No, it's not video file because it's not video file. Why isn't it showing me YouTube? They've updated this again, so that's what's bloody annoying. Zip it. No, I can't put it in a zipped file. God. Might be. Oh shit! It might be because I've got bloody YouTube Premium. I don't want to watch adverts or torture. So I'm trying to see it as present. No, it's not. Is it share screen? It isn't share screen. Video file. See if it'll let me do that. No, it isn't. The frick.
Yeah, Broadcar Lane, Mossley. And,
you know what it'd be? I'm just going to throw the link into the chat now, and I'll see if I can bring it up in a minute. Paste, because that's the one you're on about at the moment. But why won't it let me do it? I've not actually tried doing it. That's the thing. Usually I have it sent to me and then I just display it myself, but it's not letting me. I'm just wondering whether I need to put StreamYard, and I'm sure I don't, but I might have to. Hold on. Gotta remember now.
It was funny the first week though. There was like when I said I'm a meat eater, honestly, some of the looks I got and that. But I've lived in Mossley. I'm an alderman, right? Yeah. I understand veggies and vegans and all, but I'm not. I'm a meat eater, but I'm not a nasty man. And I've worked in the business as well, processing the meat, packaging, a wholesale butcher's where we cut the meat up and then packaging ready for shops. That's what I've done in my life. And but obviously I've got morals and ethics, but and this company's breaking the rules. But you know, like when I went up, I didn't go on the fact that I'm jumping on any bandwagon on. So I've already done videos on other food processing companies where people have been convicted and given fines because of crap conditions and the way they do the meat. And one of them was a chicken factory in Oldham. And but these vegans, these hardcore vegans are like that, me. When I said I were a meat eater.
I don't care. That's just annoying. I'm sorry, but I've tried things like, was it vegan sausages and, or was it burgers? And I'm sorry, they are absolutely disgusting.
No, well, I mean,
I wouldn't make a very good vegan at all. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to be nasty. When people say the vegans are vegetarians, I don't laugh at them or anything, mate. It's what you
it's
want.
the ones that shove it down your throat and expect you to adhere to their belief. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. You choose not to do that. I will not eat it in front of you, but don't sit there and start making me feel like that when you decide you shouldn't be eating that. You know, that's not good for you, blah, blah. It's like, but that's my choice. If you choose not to, that's up to you. But if I choose to eat meat, I'm going to.
But yeah, so it was funny though. They're all good.
I tried eating meat once. I couldn't get over the pubes, so I stopped.
Oh my god! What do you mean you tried? What's your favourite pastime? What are you on about?
Yeah.
So Matt, have you seen any of them videos to do like heart's head meats?
Yes, I have actually. Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah,
Isn't
they've been going after the guy, trying to arrest him for this, that, and the other, and it's like, well, all he's done is he's trespassed and he's filmed them. That's not illegal. But they're like, no. So they've gone in his house, taken all his fucking hard drives and everything, you know. So they're trawling through it, seeing if they can find something that they can fucking get him on. You know what I mean? Trolling, basically. It's like they haven't got enough to get him on. So it's like, yeah, see if we can find something else. We'll fucking have him somehow. You know.
Yep.
But it's completely disgraceful what they've been doing up there. And
yes.
Yeah. But that is the meat industry. A lot of the meat industries like that. People just don't realize, you know, and they you know, one will close down, another will take its place, and they'll do the same. You know,
What shouldn't be allowed though at all. That any of that though, bloody halal. No frigging way. It's inhumane.
Yeah, well, I've been saying this for donkey's years. Is like halal meat and kosher meat should not be allowed in the fucking UK. Full stop.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, this is how we kill our meat. If you don't like it, well, you can always fucking pop off to a country where they fucking do it the way you like it. But if you know, no. It's like, oh, but it's religious reasons. It's like, oh, so you can just cite religious reasons to do anything, is it? Oh, so like it's in their religion. It's all right to fucking rape, like they've been doing with the fucking Rotherham scandal.
Matt's well on it. Matt's
yes.
You know, but we don't allow that, do we? So you draw the line that some things are allowed religiously and some things are not allowed religiously. Well, if you're not going to allow them to fucking shag kids and gang rape, then why are you allowing them to do the fucking meat thing? It's like, why is it like one little bit for, it just doesn't make any sense, you know? It's like, oh, well, we'll allow them to just fucking slash their throats open. That's all right then. And it's like, but no, we're not going to allow them to shag kids. Well, no, if you say no to one, you say no to all. It's like these things are not fucking legal in our country.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, if you're from Oldham, we're going to be in Mossley tomorrow, and we're walking from Mossley train station at 11:30 up to Broadcar Lane, if you fancy it, or you fancy coming through. We're going to stop at the George Lawton Hall in Top Mossley, and so I'm going to be filming it. So that's tomorrow if you're interested. And They're there every week on a Sunday, and I mean it's bigger than that. You know, like what one of the ladies who's part of the group, Mel. She's been like stalked by people to do with this company and stuff like that. And like she's a lady in her 50s, and they're like, no one said anything to me, but they've said it to a woman in her 50s, and she's nice, Mel. She helps people out, and she's helped some of my friends out. So you know, I'm all on their side. It's a bit difficult when we've got. It's a bit difficult when we've got the hardcore vegans telling me that I can't eat meat and demanding that I change my full lifestyle. But I still think it's something worth reporting. It's in Oldham, and I've got issues with food production and food things, like I said earlier on. And, you know, like just a couple of years before, I'd reported on a chicken factory in Oldham that got that. When the health and safety come in to shut it down, they said, right, you've got to close up. They carried on processing for another month. And I'm not even going to repeat what the article said because it was absolutely gross and filthy. And I eat chicken. I eat fried chicken from various places around Oldham. And I've just really thought about it now because of the kind of businesses we have and the things that they're not doing and the unhealthy things. So it's not a new thing that I should report on. It's something I'm concerned about because your nieces, your nephews, your sister, your brother, they might eat fried chicken from Oldham or Rochdale. So, you know, I'm looking after their health. I'm looking after my town and my community's health. You know what I mean? And this chicken shop that got shut down, honestly, when you read the article, you think you're reading like Zombie Plague 2. Honestly, you do. You think you're reading something like that, how nasty and horrible it is, and, you know, vampire rats and this, that, and the other. But anyway, so just about your health, guys. So be careful where you shop
definitely.
from.
So I'm Matt and John Bengal.
Hello.
Welcome to the Nutcase Show. Hello, Safari.
I think it should actually be taught in schools, and they should be shown graphic footage of where your food comes from and how it's actually gathered. Because, I mean, so much about society is just, turn a blind eye and pretend it doesn't exist, you know? And realistically, if more people knew where their food came from and the conditions it was actually gathered in, rather than this bollocks, you know, like they say, RSPCA approved that place is, you know, up there. How the fuck can it be RSPCA approved when they fucking slash in their throats?
Exactly.
Prevention of cruelty to animals. That's what it means. Royal Society of the very thing that you shouldn't be fucking doing in that slaughtering place. You know, everything about it is wrong, and they've got like government standards people standing there watching this shit go on. They've got them on camera. They can tell because they're dressed in a certain type of garb. So the fucking people from the government are literally complicit in this because they're turning a blind eye to it. Everything is getting fucking. We don't want to see. We're not interested. So they should be shut down. They should absolutely be fucking shut down because, and another way they're getting around it as well. If you look on the website for this company, they do not state that they do halal and kosher meat because they don't want to get any of that attention. Like, oh, we're doing this here. So what they do is they on their website they say nothing about that. So they don't produce it like that. They say, oh no, we remain stunning and stuff. Well, they're renting out the place for it to be used for halal and things. Right, but we don't do it. We just rent the premises 4 days a week for them to do it, which is bollocks. So that's just a deception and a fucking lie to get around the fact they don't want people knowing what's going on.
Here. Thank you, Matt. Oh, thank you, mate. Honest, you well on it, you.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting though.
Like I said, I'm a meat eater, but like, and I've worked in the like wholesale trade, cutting it up and that, but it's just unethical and morally wrong. And you know, like I'm 59, and I never got brought up to like be that nasty with living things. I didn't,
No.
and I've talked about these things years ago when I first started YouTubing. I've talked about these things, and I've talked about growing up in Oldham and the wildlife and stuff like that. And then I know people like Jackie and Chris and they're long time like wildlife and like rat people, not rat people, snake people and all that.
Reptiles.
And all sorts. So, you know, and it is disgusting the way things have gone on. And apparently, allegedly, when the girls were doing the rounds, the evening rounds, they were shot at by a BB gun. That's what's been said. And I think it has been reported to police. And I think that they might have done something in the investigation. Someone might have been talked to about it. But you know, I mean, they blocked a couple of lorries. That's the most. There's not been any kind of scuffling. They've just blocked a lorry for 5 or 10 minutes that were going into the gates. They've not done anything. They haven't invaded the grounds. They haven't done anything like that. They haven't come all masked up and wanting to throw things. No one's been like that at this thing. And I'm obviously that's what I want to keep it at. But I've already said, let's get to some council meetings. Let's get to the Mosler council meetings and let the councils know what we think. And so we're going to be doing that. Then we're going to try and get to Ashton, the big Ashton meetings. And I've already been to a couple last year and talked to some of the chiefs of the council last year. So there's no reason that I can't get in again and get talking to these councils about that abattoir. And you know, it's gross, it's disgusting. And you know, I agree with what everyone's saying about it. I agree about the religious side, although that's not my priority thing. That it's not my number one thing, but I agree with it. And it's like Jackie said, our like animal welfare things just gone right out the window past 20 years than what it used to be.
You just need stronger policies on how animals are killed, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's all very well saying about the halal, and yeah, it's a horrible thing, and I get that, right? And I'll say I've eaten halal meat, right? Don't see any fucking difference, to be fair, right? But to normal, but like, it's go down that road. Don't do the halal, right? Because it's not what we feel in Britain we should have, yeah.
Right.
But then again, it's very hard to go, well, you know, go to a shop. It's not always stated that it's halal, right? So first thing, try and get rid of that. But then you look at the other side of it where, animals are killed on a daily basis for our consumption, right? Now, if regulation somehow, I'm not saying I haven't got ideas how to do this.
You're breaking up, Tom. We can't hear you. All your words are all just.
You still a Wi-Fi slut? You still haven't used those boxes, have you?
No, I've got trouble. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
Wi-Fi slag.
John's right. We do need more.
Can you hear me now?
Regulations. And,
it's nothing to do with us being able to hear you. It's just your data rate is going down on your Wi-Fi. Yeah. So you're just freezing
Give me a
second.
There ain't nothing you can do. You're on Wi-Fi. There's nothing you can do.
Nope.
Oh, there is. There is a certain thing I can do.
Yeah, it did sound like a broken droid.
Right. Where was
Go on, go back into your rant.
No, it's not a rant.
But you know what I mean, getting your point across.
It's like, obviously, you know, like they say humane. Nothing's humane when you're killing an animal. but they put a bolt in the head, right? Not all, they don't always die straight away. But how else do you want to do that unless you go down the route of going, right, nobody eats meat, we're all vegetarians. But then you're then appeasing everybody who's a vegetarian, and then you'll get the vegans going, well, no, it's still bad because you eat eggs or you'll do this, so you have to become vegan, which
you don't have to kill an animal, correct?
Yeah, but both vegan and vegetarian aren't sustainable. Anyway, if everybody went vegan and vegetarian tomorrow, it wouldn't be sustainable. So and we're evolutionary. We are omnivores. So we eat meat, we eat, and we also eat veg.
Yes.
So whatever way you look at it, you're never going to get rid of killing an animal for food. It's more the fact
it's just the way they do it.
And it's also using the resources that we have, not over resourcing.
Yeah.
But that will never, it's very unlikely that's going to happen in maybe our lifetime. So what do you do there? So the regulations, like John agreed, the regulations need to be tightened so you don't get all these abattoirs doing shit on the side, which they shouldn't be.
True.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, one way you could stop it is, as they said in the documentary, I mean, there should be cameras on here and put it live on the internet so people can watch them. And if they're fucking around, people go, look at this here. But they will not do that because that's not the way they fucking work.
No.
Same as the cameras in court as well, isn't it? That's why they screw people over. They
need it won't work like that.
Cameras in bloody.
It can't work like that. Not because people will go, oh well, look at they're doing there. You'll then get the extremist side of somebody who may be a vegan or or veggie of some sort, going out there and protesting like on a bad scale, like an extremist, if you want to call it. And that's what would happen. That's why they're not going to put cameras in there and put it on the internet for argument's sake. But I agree, Matt, put cameras in and have people who maybe not doing it publicly, but have people monitor it, such as like you have people with CCTV monitoring a fucking airport or something. The same sort of principle.
There should be people who are sort of like welfare officers who are not connected to the government, are independent, who can go in at any time when the offices are open and sit down in front of their fucking things and fast forward through their CCTV footage and see if there's any abuses going on. And that would stop it dead. I've said exactly the same thing should happen with court cases. Yes. Because the fucking amount of bullshit that goes on in fucking magistrates' courts and criminal courts as well, to a degree. If it was public in the UK, people would go, hang on, they're not even following the fucking law. They're making this shit up as they go along.
Yep.
And they could see that like one judge would be giving somebody like community service for something, and another judge, exactly the same crime, exactly the same scale, and you're going to jail. So the law is not fucking even. It's just depending on who you see on the day, whether they like you or not, and what they can do. And that's not fair. That's completely unfair.
It's like picking friends, isn't it? Oh, no, I don't like the way you look. Now I don't want to be friends with you. You just can't do that.
But that's why they will not. They fucking will not. They've dragged their heels on this. They've been saying, "Oh, we're gonna publicize and we're gonna televise court cases." Have they fucking done it? No, they won't. They're digging their fucking heels in because they like the system the way it is, because it allows the judges to do what the fuck they want in the way they fucking want, and to be unfair in certain cases and be fair in other cases. And if people could see the bias, that would stop overnight. Bang. Because people go, hang on a minute, fucking minute. And that's where they don't want it. That's where they don't want to televise fucking British court cases. Because
and they've got round it.
System.
They've got round some of it as well, Matt, because if you look at some of the Crown cases, they've done a few live stream stuff on there because they changed the law a little bit. But only the ones which you know what's going to happen within the region. Someone's killed somebody. It's quite obvious. They're a mass murderer or whatever, and then they've done it. But even then, they snip things around. But then they got around it because they go, well, yeah, but we only do certain ones which we feel are in the public eye. That's what it is. It's always the public eye. It's never, like you say, it's never, well, we'll do all of them. But that's how they got around it. They changed the law that very tiny bit and think, well, the public will be appeased by that. We don't care now.
And this is how they get away with people being prejudiced. What, like I said, oh, they're going to judge you by your colour. And this is how you get people arguing and angry about it. And that's it. Everybody should be treated the same. Doesn't matter what bloody colour you are. You committed that crime. You should bloody pay for it, no matter what. Simple as that.
This is the thing, Jackie, right?
Yeah.
If you have an opinion on something, then people then, and the media do this a lot, they'll boil it down to race and colour, well, ethnicity, colour, right? They will do that every single fucking time. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. They go, oh yeah, they're just being racist on it. Well, no, actually, no. We're looking at it from, you look at it from a logical point of view. Creed and colour doesn't come into it. Race, well, to a certain extent, race comes into it because you go, well, that person was that colour.
Yes. Because
that's naturally how you identify people. They're white, they're black, they're fucking Chinese, they're whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But at the end of the day, that isn't the core fundamental of it. It's what the situation was. What happened? The
thing is, not all of them are doing that though, and that's what some of these bloody judges are doing. They're judging them like that, and they shouldn't.
No, of course they're not. That's why when there's marches and stuff like that, they say, oh, they're far right. Well, if you look at it properly, they're not necessarily far. Okay, you'll get some people who are far right. They go to the marches. They want to cause trouble. Yeah. Simple as. That's a well-known fact. We all know it. But not every single person on a march are
there to cause trouble.
Yeah, they're not far right or fucking neo-Nazi or whatever you want to call them. Right? It's just it's the media giving a narrative. And if you don't like if you're not happy with the narrative and you speak against it, then they decide to come after you.
Yes, they do. That's it. That's how they're doing that with freedom of speech, aren't they? They say there's freedom of speech in the UK, but there damn well isn't.
Well, of course there isn't. You could tweet something on fucking Facebook or say something on here, and it needs one person to pick it up and fucking complain, and then you've got the old Bill knocking on the door going, "Oh right, what are you doing? Oh, it's a race hate crime." When in fact, if you look at it in context, it probably well isn't a racial comment. It's the narrative that they don't want you to go against, and that's in the media, in mainstream media. I mean, look, just look at, for example, I mean, either way, they've got that Newsnight thing going on, will be going on, and Rupert Lowe's being fucking singled out not to be allowed to go on it, right? Or whoever the candidate is for Restore. And they're kicking up arms for it, but they're quite happy to have everybody else in there. And then they go, oh, well, we'll check it to make it, and everybody else will be spoken about in there, fair and biased. But you know it's going to be biased.
Yes.
You know it's not going to be a fair shot. And that people don't, people are waking up to this as well and realising that, well, the good old BBC has suddenly become, well, not suddenly, they've been for a while, will go on their own narrative. Whichever political thing they want, they'll fucking go for it until it blows up in their face, and then they deny everything.
They want to know the questions that are going to be asked by the members of the public who are going there. So they get to pick who goes there, and they say, "Oh, just trust us. Trust us. We've made it fair." But the thing is, even if it was fair, and you had 50% from one side and 50% from the other side, is who do they pick? Who do they pick? Because it's the BBC that get to pick, and they want to know what you're going to say before you say it. So then they go, oh, he's going to say this. Right, we'll have that question. That's a good one. And this and this. So they can spin the programme straight away with all the questions that get asked.
So make it looks good on them. And it's like, well, there's no bloody two sides. Are just putting it all in one side, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's quite easy to see. Obviously, the BBC have already got fucking moaned at, done whatever for when they snipped Trump's speech. What happened about that then? Well, that's got now that's out of the way and it's all blown over. You don't hear anything about that. Whether it's going on in the background and Trump's still suing them, who knows? But that's just one example. You know, it was the narrative. We'll make him look bad, whether he is or not. They'll make him look bad, and then they run the story and they keep going. Oh well, he said this, he said that, and then it turns out that he actually didn't say that because it's from two different speeches at two different times.
Yeah, they cut bits out, didn't they, and just put it all together as in one sentence. And it's like,
then
really?
And this isn't just for the BBC. This is for even GB News now. You know, they all go, oh well. We apologise, and sometimes they don't even apologise. They'll just fucking sweep it under the carpet.
No, they shouldn't do that. That's unfortunately they should get frigging their ass kicked for that. But
will they? Will they?
Well, I actually do hope Trump sues the BBC. They fucking deserve it. Love screwing people over.
But then it'll sue the BBC, and the BBC, because they've got the King's Charter. They'll just carry on until that charter's fucking gone, because that's the thing. What they got at the moment, they've got because they've got that legal fucking stance. They will say what they want, do what they want until such time that it is demolished or gone or it's not renewed.
I've heard they're meant to be bloody extending it, aren't they? Wasn't there a certain date that they're meant to be?
But the BBC are cheeky fuckers. BBC are cheeky fuckers because they want, you know that you can't, you're not meant to watch live stream, blah, 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 if it's anything to do with TV commercial. But what they're trying to do is put it into council tax, and there's been speak of it, whether they're going to do it
about with Netflix and everything. And then if you don't pay for the TV license, I know they did try the council tax one, but they were trying to do, if you wanted to watch Netflix, or what's the other one?
Well, it's anything. What it is,
you have to use your TV license, and then you'd have to put a code in so you could watch them. And it's like, well, hang on a minute, you paid for them, so why would you have to pay again? Because
anything which is live and broadcast as
that's different. But even if you avoid it, they still want
live
they want to fucking control that, because lots of people are fucking the bloody TV license off, not watching it because it's the biggest bag of crap. It really is. It's awful.
So what they're doing is trying to claw their money back. They're going, well, if you watch anything live at the moment, what it is if you watch anything live which is of TV quality, say if you watch something on YouTube from Sky News, anything else like that, because it's live broadcasting quality, you can, you're not meant to watch it.
Yeah.
But then what they're trying to do is extend that so the whole of YouTube, doesn't matter what you do, in order to watch anything on there or do it, you'd have to pay the license.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way it really worries is to get rid of the fucking charter, because then they got nothing, because they're a private corporation. So in essence, all they're trying to do, they're just saying, well, pay us, and you'll go, no, fuck off. And why should I?
They even sell overseas and they get paid for that. Then apparently the certain channels like Dave and all that, they have adverts on that. So they can add advertising. They know they can have advertising, but no, they won't put advertising on the BBC.
Things overseas, the BBC has said in America they've done some trial thing, whereas that you can watch some of the BBC stuff for free. But hold on a minute, we'll have to pay for it over here.
Well, if the thing is, people should be given a choice if they want to watch BBC and do it as a subscription.
Well, that's the logical explanation, but
exactly.
or they know that they're not going to get a lot of money, because people decide they might want to watch the news. That's about it. But so people won't bother because they know they can get it. They can get news from elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. I'm glad I got fucking shot. I'm so glad.
I just don't like the woke propaganda, because like all the TV channels have turned now into like fucking, let's get this fucking person on who's got some sort of like I'm a trans this, that, and the other, and it's like just rammed down your fucking throat. And the storylines of fucking half these shows are kind of like how some trans person can get with a homo person that can get with a fucking gender fluid person, and blah 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 blah, and it's like, the public are not fucking, they don't really want to fucking dive into the lives of fucking people who got at the best, the people in these communities are a minority. So exactly. why is it promoted? It's like, again, it's adverts. You if you, not that I fucking don't watch adverts, but I mean, you just driving down the road, like it's like, oh, BT, Oh, let's have an Indian person up on a fucking poster. And then you drive past the next poster. It's like, oh, it's a white person. And it's the next poster. Oh, it's an Indian person. Oh, and it's a black person. And then it's a black person. And then it's, oh, it's a white person. You have a look at fucking advertising out there. It's 3 or 4 fucking times the amount of fucking people of different ethnic backgrounds to white people. Yet they're a fucking minority, but they're on every, because it's virtue signaling. It's like, oh no, we want to be seen to be pushing. But the thing is, it's not.
They want to be seen to be neutral.
It's artificial. It's artificial, and it's skewed. It's skewed so far in the other direction. It's like, you know, it's painful to look at. It's like, really, honestly, yeah, we've got people of different colors in this country, but they're not the fucking, like, every fucking advert, you know, is like fucking, oh, we got to get somebody in there, you know, and it's like,
yeah, shouldn't it be so consistent at the end of the day? It should be a bit more, you know, mixed, one-sided. Sorry.
You also see that, like, a lot of, you know, like you say, man, a lot of mainstream stuff. They they'll promote the, you know, the LGBT and all that, etc. In essence, it ain't a bad thing. If people want to be of that persuasion, fine, have it. Who cares? Who gives a fucking shit, right? Because you've had these people around forever and a day, and yes, at one point, you know, for being gay, you would be locked up for it, you know, or for committing sort of horrible things. But we now live in the 21st century. We know. That's up to you. If you want to do that, fine. You're not going to get fucking locked up for it. But they want to push it to that extent, whereas not everybody wants to see that 24/7. It doesn't matter. Just go and live your life like everybody else. But they want to keep pushing. They want to keep pushing. But as soon as people say something, what I've just said, they say, "Oh no, you're homophobic."
Exactly. You can't have it up again.
What I've just said as an example, they go, "Oh well, you're homophobic." Matt, on a serious note, am I homophobic?
Yes.
Yeah, you refuse to shag me, you bastard.
That's because I had 10 pints and a floppy nose.
He uses this excuse of being married and having kids. Like, and I mean, I'm not having it. I'm going to report you for anti-race, homophobia, racism. Yeah.
Oh, great, thanks. I appreciate that. I look forward to speaking to the old Bill.
You're not giving me equal opportunities on my arse, I'm afraid, sir.
Oh, really? Deary me.
I've got
a winner there. It's destroyed me in one foul swoop.
Yeah. How
but no,
dare you not be
on a serious
it?
note, Matt, right? On a serious note, without you fucking bantering, right? Some views I could say, right? They go, "Oh no, you're homophobic," right? You know, I'm not homophobic at all. I have friends who are gay, trans. Don't give a fuck about your sexual orientation because it's not in my radar. It's minute. You respect your individual people, you know, the people you know, and you're friends with them because you have interests. Like, you know, everyone like has interests with each other. Not. Oh well, I don't like you because you're gay. Well, that's wrong, isn't it? Well,
exactly. You're not getting to know that person. You know, you're just putting like a stamp on them or a sticker on them. No, I'm sorry. No, don't want anything to do with it. It's like, fuck off. No.
What pisses me off is when it's pushed down your throat and then people go, "Well, you don't respect us." I never said I didn't.
Like, I expect it every now and again, but they constantly. I'll sit there and watch something and I'll be like, really? I expect it every now and again in something, but it's like every time you turn something on, you want to watch a good film, and then it's like, no.
I mean, I can say, being a gay bloke, I think that it's over the top the way that everything's being pushed at the moment, and I can say that because I'm gay.
Yes.
So therefore, and even I think it's fucking over the top, ridiculous. Now, I'd be interested to hear from somebody who's like of color, you know, and I believe, John, maybe you are half something or another.
Jamaican.
No, what really?
What do you mean? Or another? Yeah, I'm Jamaican. Windrush. Second generation Windrush, thank you. But you don't have to say that. You can just call me John. But
what? Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is that from your perspective, would you say when you look at adverts, there's an over-representation of people of
ethnic
colour.
minorities, 100%,
minorities.
Matt. There is. It's been well documented, and you know, like it's not just that. DEI, the Air Force, went into trouble because they weren't hiring qualified people. This was the news. You can look at it, Google upon the news. There's been 2 big police issues where 2 different forces. The police was the ones who were qualified were put to the back queue for an ethnic minority who just couldn't do the job as properly. Not saying they're all like that, but statistically, there is more white people in England. So statistically, there'd be more white people in jobs. I know you're right. The advertising thing is very overrepresented in that section, and the pushing diversity and multiculturalism on us. You know, there's even adverts now that go on about first cousin marriages, and there's adverts that promote it. You know, honestly. But yeah, I agree. And it was funny when you.
It's like the elephant in the room, isn't it? It's like you don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but it is the elephant in the room, because when you're driving down the road, that's what you see, and you go like, "Hang on, this feels a bit biased." Yeah, well, what's going on? You know, I mean, if it's just these companies, they seem like obsessed with like, oh, we've got to have, you know, an Asian or a Chinese person or a Chinese family, or. And they love to kind of like have a white bloke with somebody else, you know, as well, you know. So it's like a mixed marriage, you know, of some sort. And it's like they just don't feel like they're comfortable anymore unless they do that, because they think that somebody's going to say something. So
because they're I don't know. Did you want to use the word pandering? They're pandering to people who, if they didn't do that, they go, oh, well, you're a racist company because you're not putting somebody of an ethnic colour in there, which really is bollocks, to be fair. And like John's just said about that, you know, statistically, you've got more white people in Britain than you have coloured people, right?
Yeah.
That's right. You're true. The thing is, but then people go, oh, yeah, well, they're coming over, they're nicking our jobs, doing this, that, and the other. Well, that's bollocks. If you look at it properly, right, the way our system works in Britain,
yeah,
you can quite easily sign on and get money from the government for nothing and be a lazy tosser, right? Simple as, right? You can quite easily do that. So when people, oh, you're nicking our jobs, so but you won't be saying they're nicking your jobs when good old Mr. Patel is saving your life down at A&E, doing the job which I suppose a white person may be able to do if they're able to be trained or could get off their arse and do it. And it's the same, and that's just, you know, that's just a cliche thing. I mean, you could use any industry, right, and say the same thing. Oh, well, we've got so many shops with Indian people in it and all that. Well, yeah. Well, why don't you set up a shop then, because you're white, and do the same thing, and you'll be earning the same fucking money. Are you too lazy? You come up with all these different fucking problems. You know, I've worked all my life. And I work with all different races, nationalities, whatever. Don't give a fuck. But to be fair, some, a lot of foreign people who come over that do work, you know, the legally here I'm talking about, you know. And the main thing what people go on about, say, oh, they're all coming over on the boats, and yes, they are. That's a problem. But that's to do with illegal migration, you know, illegal. People come into the country illegally, not legally. And that's what the media miss out. You know, it's okay to have people come over and work here and they pay their way. The same as if I went to another country like Australia. If I went over to Australia and I could prove that I could work over there, I can do things, right? And they say, okay, can you get a job? Yeah, I've got something like, okay, fine, come on in. Come and earn money for the government, the same as you do in Britain. But over here it's so much more lax that anybody just comes over because they know that they'll come over on a boat and they won't be checked as well. They will be checked. They'll go, oh yeah, do that. But then they're put up for free, given bits and pieces, etc. So why aren't they going to work, right? The simple reason is because the system, the society is allowing it to happen. So if we change that as a number of the parties are saying, whether it ever happened or not is a different matter. If it was changed, the system was changed and made more robust, such as Australia, for argument's sake, right? Because they're very strict on who they have in. It would stop quite rapidly. And if we just went, well, fuck off, go back over to France, for argument's sake. So all these people who come over, why didn't they fucking stop in France? Why didn't they stop in any of the European countries?
Because they're bloody getting everything for free. That's why.
They are, but why? But the thing is, because the other countries don't want them anyway, because it's the same issue.
Yeah.
Not because they can go on the shore, like, oh, they're fuck off over there. It's going to be England's problem. Yeah, and that's not racist to say that. It's fact. People come over, they try and claim asylum, even though there's no issue. Why? You know, they come over from fucking Albania or somewhere. Don't want to work, whatever. Well, there's nothing going on in Albania, is there?
Exactly. There should be. They're not legitimately escaping a war or something. They're just coming over because why? They just sit on their ass and get everything handed to them.
Yeah, but if you look at the narrative, we're not really meant to say things like this, right? Because we're being racist. Well, no, we're not being fucking racist. I mentioned nothing about colour.
No.
Individual person, doesn't matter what colour, creed or race they are, they come over illegally, not going through the right routes. Well, that's you're illegal. That's the whole thing in the name, illegal.
Yes.
If they wanted to implement a new system, what they should say is, if you throw your passport away when you're on your way over and you can't prove who you are, then you go straight fucking back to the best country that we think you came from. Because if you're not going to tell us, we'll just dump you back in a fucking country that we think you came from. Because it's like, if you can't prove who you are, you don't deserve to fucking say that you're from a country that needs to be allowed to come here for asylum purposes. Because if you genuinely had a real reason to be coming, you'd show your fucking passport and say, I am really from that country, and it really is a genuine reason, and I really did have to get out. The fact that you come in with no papers means that you haven't come from a country where there's a problem.
Right.
So
and like you say, Matt, if someone comes over because they are from a war-torn country or a real asylum, there's ways and means of being able to then sort you out and help you in some way.
Yeah. Australia says if you come in illegally, you're banned for life. That's it. You're banned for life because you didn't do it the right way, and it just
you've got to go through the proper channels, don't you? Legally.
It's common sense. I mean, you are the ones cap in hand, but these people coming over, I mean, when they get here as well, it's really annoying to see them on videos on YouTube going like, yeah, we fucking came here because we're going to take the piss out of your fucking system, and we don't give a fuck, and we're going to fuck you up, and we're going to take your country over. And they literally, some of them are like that, and it's like, do you really want these people in the country? They're saying like, we're going to come over here to fucking take you over and fuck you up. We want to let them in. Yeah,
that's the extremism side, which when all the political parties talk about it, very rarely will they use the word extremist. They will just go, oh, well, they're illegal, So it then gives is it the far left? Who knows now? It then gives the opposition a chance to go, well, actually, you're just being racist now because you don't use the right terminology.
Oh, if you say it wrong, then you're in trouble. You get penalised for that.
It's like all this, you got all the Muslims in, you got all these in. Fine. If you're a Muslim and you want to be in Britain and you can help the country, work, pay your taxes, etc., and still have your religion, right? Because it's a free world. If you look at it, everybody's entitled to believe what they want to believe.
Yes.
Fine. It's the fact that when some people will come over and they're like, no, we don't respect anything the country has. We want to have all our own laws like we have over in wherever they come from. Now, as an example, if all you guys here, if we decide to go to Saudi Arabia and did the same thing, said, "Nah, fuck it, we're Christians. We're going to do what we want. We do not give a shit." Right?
Oh,
The
yeah,
same as
right.
a lot of these extremists. So if we were extreme like over there, what would happen? We'd be locked
Probably
up,
either imprisoned or get
whatever,
yes.
because we're not complying with what they want in their own country, right? Which is wrong. In their own country, you have, it's like when in Rome, do what the Romans do.
Yeah.
Simple as. If I go abroad, I will act, obviously I'm English, but I'll act
To their according to
as
their
you would
laws.
over there. There are obviously going to be some things I might not agree with, and obviously you steer clear of that. You know, but you they will tolerate you, you tolerate them. It's a way of cultural learning. That's when there's no issue with cultural learning, but it's when extremism comes in. They're like, well, I don't care what country I'm in, we are correct, you are wrong. Well, that's not the way to live, is it? Because then you have the conflicts, the wars, everything goes on then, and you end up with a country like we've got at the moment. Whereas if you look at the current party, they don't seem to give a shit. They keep going on about everything what's been happening, rape things by, so many Muslim men and all that. Well, that should be nipped in the bud and gone, right, fuck off then. Put them inside, get it done. Yes, it takes time, but you need to get that done. You need to have a stringent set of rules for a country as we used to have. And times have changed, so you've got to be tolerant for certain things. Like, a lot of people go, oh, what about the trans? What about this? What about that? Yeah, fine. It might not be your cup of tea. You should respect them and do that. But if they suddenly decide to have a fucking riot because they're not, you say, well, what's going on here? What you doing? We tolerate yourself the same as you would tolerate me. We've got different opinions.
Yes.
Let's talk and learn about it. And we will agree to disagree.
Yeah.
It just goes for the same for religion as well. Fucking just get on with it. No, you're never going to have a whole country all happy and fucking da-di-da. There's always going to be someone who's not happy.
What about people who come over to do a university course, and then they go, you're stuck in the UK. I've got to have my family with me. I've got my mum and dad to come over. They got to live here now because I'm in university. Fuck that shit. You're over to do university. If you fancy meeting your family, you can always go back to where they come from and meet them over there. Why the fuck do you have to get into
Matt should be one of the leaders at NHP UK. I'm telling you. telling you.
I mean, if anything, if there's some argument of hardship, I mean, like, be given some sort of compensatory payment to help you get back over to see him if it's such a fucking hardship. But don't fucking bring him over to live in this country. I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Or don't do it at all.
I've got a bit of a story now. You're saying that. So that building that fell down in King Street in Oldham. I might have mentioned this last time, but we somebody who worked at the hospital got us on to someone who lived in the property. So when we finally met him, he's not a citizen. He's a student over here. He didn't have any family, but he was subletting. So in effect, if he would have been in the house and died, would anyone have known that he was in that building if he was subletting off somebody who was in London? You just couldn't make it up, you couldn't make it up. And he didn't have any rights. And I said, look, you're not a British citizen, and I don't know anything about like things to do with you're not a British. If he was a British citizen, I could have helped him, but I just couldn't help him. You know what I mean? And that's just one case in Oldham. And there's obviously thousands, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of similar kind of things going around in our country right now. So just shocking.
Well, that's the thing. People come over like illegally, and then because there's no stringent sort of being detained, etc., or whatever, they just get put into the ether, and then that situation happens. Now, how do you change that? I mean, I know for a fact there's, you could probably quite not easily, but you could police the whole of the coast up and down the country, because there are places for definite that you can get a boat from England and go to France, and there's no checkpoint when you get there. And I know that for a fact because I've been to a certain place, and I was actually talking to some English people, and they come over. They've got their boat. They come over, and I said, "Don't you get checked when you come over?" And they went, "No, never been checked at all. We take our passports because we're in France." But all they do, they come in and they just moor up, have a jolly, do what they got to do. And when they decide to go back to England, they just do the same thing. Go back to the English port. And there's no checkpoint there either because it's a small port. So surely, in order to get rid of, because if they could do it and they're English citizens, who's to say that anybody can do it? I could have done it I could do it whenever I wanted. So that's what, England should do that. They should go to every port there is and go, right, well, we're going to have a checkpoint at every port. I know it sounds harsh, but at the end of the day, if you want to stop people coming in illegally, that's what you've got to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I used to work for Customs and Excise, now called Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. I couldn't get over how slack it was and how few customs officers there were, how few there were, and how few checks were done. And even at Cardiff Wales Airport, which was where I was based in Cardiff, and that was our only big international airport, was Cardiff Wales Airport. They didn't have a manned customs office. It went to the stage where they didn't even have customs officers there, and they literally had a sign up saying, if there's anything you want to declare, ring this number and tell us about it.
What?
Seriously? I mean, there was no customs. There was no customs. Now, what they would do randomly, maybe once a fortnight, was send 2 officers up there to work for a couple of hours. So one aircraft out of 50 or 60 that come through, might get checked.
God, there must have been all sorts coming through there.
But there's no incentive from the government, and there's not enough people employed to do that job. They're just not there. And this is when I realized, I kind of came to this conclusion years ago, that 95% of what the government does is tells you that there's all these checks going on. And the way they do that is by publicity and television programs showing people getting caught and caught and caught and caught and caught. And it's all about perception of there being these checks done and all these things to stop you coming in. It's about perception, but the reality is 95% of things get through. There is no, and from a criminal point of view, if you're importing drugs, the chances are that if you factor in the losses that you could make from losing, one batch of drugs, you're still up. It's like a winning game, because the chances that you're going to get caught are so slim, and then when you work for an organization like that and you find that out, and you find out that the statistics were that 0.002%, I think it was, of everything that comes into the UK illegally is detected. 0.002%. Yeah. Then, it's a joke. You think, why the fuck am I bothering to do this? Because we're not winning. We're not stopping people. We're not stopping illegality. We're not stopping counterfeit goods. We're not stopping any of it. It's a waste of time. So to go to work and actually, really want to catch people and be a customs officer and catch people, why? Because you've failed. Even if you were out there every day working really hard, you ain't scraping the surface. You're not even breathing on the surface of it. So that's quite demoralizing. That's when I realized it was a frigging joke. And it probably, I didn't know about VAT, but the same probably goes to things like that as well. The amount of people who are not paying tax, the amount of people who are not paying their VAT and not registered, the amount of businesses that ain't registered, the amount of, and you know, the amount of criminals who break into buildings and never get caught by the police. And then everyone knows the police aren't investigating. They don't even come out. You know, it's like how many people have ever had something go wrong, and the police go, "Oh yeah, we can't do anything about that." Or we'll give you a crime reference number, but no, fucking jog on. Not interested. So it's all about perception. The reality is there is no control. There's very little control, and there's a lot made of, you know, when they do catch somebody, they make a big thing about it in the press. You know, like, oh, we caught. You know, but they're not in control.
It's like if you're an expat, though, isn't it? If you decide to go and live in Spain or somewhere, you know, being an expat, you can still come back over here and have all the NHS staff and do whatever. Like, well, hang on a minute, you don't live in Britain at all, but because you're a British citizen, you can still come back. Well, you've decided not to worry about Britain. You want to fuck off somewhere else. Go and live there. Fine, great, well done. Have a nice life, but don't come back and start using our stuff for free. That gets my goat a bit, because like, it's all very well going over. If you've got the money, you live over there, do what you got to do. Well, if you live in Spain, we'll go for argument's sake. If you're ill, go and fucking see a Spanish doctor or hospital. Don't come over here for free on the NHS.
Yeah, because they're basically not paying into the system. They're just coming over here and getting it all for free.
Yeah. And I know that's controversial, but I don't fucking care. I don't
care. What about this business? I mean, this goes on a lot. People come to the UK, and it's been mentioned in the US recently, but it's not really talked about in the UK. But it goes on in the UK as well. If you go to a country and give birth, then your child is entitled to a dual passport from the country you came from and the country you gave birth in, because they were born in that country. What a fucking scam! What a fucking scam! Right?
Yeah.
And they're talking about it in the States now, but I don't hear much about being said about it in the UK.
It's about dual nationality.
Yeah. Just because you were born in a country, so people are literally jumping on a plane, heavily pregnant, and they're saying, "Oh, so when are you due to give birth?" And they lie about it, you know, and they say, "Oh, so you're not coming to the UK to give birth?" Then they'll actually ask them the questions. The immigration people will ask them the questions. They still let them through. They still let them through, and then they come specifically to give birth in that country so they can get a dual passport for their kid. Of course, if they can get the kid on a dual passport, what happens? You wait 15, 20 years. That kid can move back to that country, and then can invite his family to come and live there. So it's just another route in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the best. It's just screwing the system, isn't it?
I think dual nationality works to a certain extent, but like as you say, it should be more stringent. You know what I mean? It should be more stringent.
Yeah.
And you know, there should be, to have dual nationality, you should be paying into the British system straight away. Everybody who has a nationality should be paying into the system, not fucking spanking off the state.
Yeah.
Well, mate, you're asking about Matt joining something. The thing is, I'm not finishing till another half hour. So then at the end of the day, that's in Matt's court, in his court, basically, if he wants to go over there.
audits. Fucking hell.
I'm not going to go live. I'm not going to go live after this. Sorry I didn't turn up as well. I meant to say, because I was at a thing in the barge inn. They had a mural put up of Reg Presley from he was the lead singer of the Trogs, and he passed away in 2013.
Yeah.
But they've had him painted on the wall inside. So we went up to see that today, and that's why I came back a bit late. So,
Kieran, no, I wouldn't. Never. That's as simple as that, mate. That's all I'm going to say to that. But, yeah, EA audits. I don't know who they are, so simple as.
Well, look, France banned the burqa, which I think is a good thing. Face covering, you know, you should be identifiable. That seems only fair. And I think that they should actually ban face coverings when people do protests as well. If you're in a crowd of people causing trouble wearing a fucking thing, you should be pulled out by the police and fucking rip that fucker off.
Yes.
And if you refuse, you're arrested. It should be illegal to hide your face in protest, because if you're going to do something there that's going to get you into trouble, you should be fucking. If you think that anonymity is going to get you out of it, how fucking soft is our government to allow people to get away with things like that?
See, this burqa thing, right? So if Jackie went over to, you know, Saudi Arabia or somewhere, you have to cover up as a woman. You have to cover up and the face thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's in their own country, so fine. That's the law of your country. England, if they decided, you know, I think is a good thing. We don't have that over here because we feel that women have rights and you know, women should be doing that. Doesn't matter about the religious aspect of it. We think that's what should happen.
Yes.
And that's what they should do.
Yes.
But it doesn't happen like that over here because we're too fucking soft. And then if we did do that, they go, oh well, that's being like religious hatred or fucking racism, whatever. It isn't. It's because we believe that women should have rights. We feel that as a Christian country, because that's what we are predominantly meant to be, a Christian country, and that's our ethnicity. The same as if you're in an Arab country, their ethnicity and their religion is mainly, I think, Muslim, so they would have the burqas or whatever. Fine,
yeah,
do that. That's how it should work. Yeah. Not like, oh well, it's our religion. There's so many things about. I'm not against, as you know, Matt, and I'm not against religion at all. Far from it, you know.
Well, what they want you to do in their country, you respect their country, you're going to do that. But don't expect to bring all that crap over here and expect us to adhere to the same thing. It's just like, no.
Yeah, and I want to state as well, people think, oh, well, he's saying a bit racist bit there or whatever. No, I'm not. I have been to a mosque. I've been when they've done the things in a mosque, right? Out of respect. And I said, well, to the I'm not going to explain how, but I said to the person, people, it's all right if I come with you. And you know what? And this is where the extremism and the proper Muslim faith, are different. They went, yeah, come on in.
Mm-hmm.
I took my shoes off. I was respectful. I did, I just went in there. I observed because I'm not Muslim. I observed. I was in there, happy to do it. And that's what people, my opinion, I think people should do that. Should understand all the different religions. Or I know there's loads of them, but the main stuff. Yeah. If you get the chance, because then you understand. You might not agree with all of it, and obviously the extremism side definitely not agree. But you might not agree with what the Muslim faith is, but at least you have the understanding, so you can speak to people in regards to it. You can have an intellectual conversation, and that's what is missing all the time, especially on these all this media narrative and all this is straight away. If you don't agree with the narrative, you're racist, you're homophobic, you're fucking far right. It's all bullshit. Just spread. So at the end of the day, the major powers can make money. And they can go, well, we're going to do this now. We can fuel this war somewhere over there, or we can do this and fuel that hatred there. So when we decide to go and implement something very small, you won't realise it until it's too fucking late.
I mean, they used to teach you all the different religions at the time when they used to have the religious studies or religion. Was it RE, religious education? That was all different religions. But from what I've heard now, it isn't all that. It's all one religion. And if you don't like it, it's tough.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'd like to learn about all different ones, not just one particular one. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Mel. Yeah,
I'd like to learn about different ones, not just one.
I've noticed it in a lot of younger people that because they're either not taught properly, they're not haven't been taught this, but they're fed narratives. When you start saying certain things, they're like, oh well, you're far right, you're racist, you're homophobic, you're this, that, and that. It's like, and you try and explain, and you say, well, no, I'm not. They don't want to know because they're right, you're wrong. And what you know, and what I say is like, well, no, I'm not saying that you're right, I'm right, and you're wrong. Let's have a debate. And it's very rare for someone younger age to go, yeah, okay, let's have a logical and an intellectual conversation. That's what's been lost because people are so a lot of places are you're taught a narrative. You're not taught the real, the real term life things. So when you get into the wide world, you're very naive, but you don't realise it.
Yeah.
I suppose it comes with age as well.
Here's the thing to do with the burqa, which I saw this on a channel and I kind of thought, yeah, actually, it's right. Never thought of it like this before. The whole thing with women are supposed to like cover themselves up so that they don't give men sexual arousal or desires after that woman. Yeah. So that's a primary part of it. Yeah. So why don't blokes cover up as well then? Because maybe there's some fucking women out there who are looking at those blokes and going, oh, fucking hell, I fancy him. Oh, geez, he's a bit all right, isn't he? So you've got a bloke walking down the road with a woman who's covered up, but he's not covering up. But somebody could be having sexual thoughts about him too. So why doesn't he cover up? Because it's actually sexually biased because the man is considered to be more than the woman. The woman is considered to be subjugate. Yeah. And really, I think a lot of it has to do with fucking insecurity of males in the fucking Muslim religion. Males in the Muslim religion are insecure about their women, insecure, can't fucking handle the fact that somebody might look at them. And it's like, yeah, but what about them too? It's like if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If the Lord, their Lord, God, says through the prophets or whatever, that it's not all right for fucking women to walk around because people might get a good idea. Well, surely it applies to the men as well. You should be walking around in fucking burqas, like practice what you preach. What about you too? But it doesn't work that way.
Nope.
Listen, guys, I've got to go, me. I've got to go.
I'm in 20 minutes anyway. How dare you leave it 20 minutes early? I know you're going there tomorrow.
Well, I'm up early tomorrow. I'm in Mossley. We've got a walk going at 11:30 from train station to Top Mossley, then up to Broadcar Lane, and then so I'm filming it all. So I'm up early, mate. I'm up early.
Yeah. Okay, John. Thank you for coming on anyway.
No worries. Thank you for listening to me, guys. Don't forget White Lives Matter as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Racist.
You take care.
He's going then. Sorry, I was got to reply.
You know what, right?
It was a joke. I thought you can't say white. We're scum, white people. White blokes are scum. We deserve to die. We're not worthy. No,
that fucking gets my goat. Really, to be fair,
I'm not worthy. I should be eliminated. Like but I should be.
Like, it's like, oh, white lives matter, black lives matter. No, hang on a minute. Fucking cut all that bollocks about fucking colour.
Yes.
All lives matter.
Yes.
Right? If you look at it on a moral standpoint, all lives matter. It doesn't matter about race, creed, colour, religion. All lives matter.
Yes.
And and then this Black Lives Matter thing, right? Look at the people who set it up. They're fucking fascists. And I'm not joking. If you look it up on Wikipedia, the people who set up the Black Lives Matter movement are fascists. Proclaimed fascist. It says it on there as well. So hang on a minute. So you're following that, but you don't look at the fascist ideology which they brought out. Well, they said, that's just swept to the sideline because some guy died.
Oh, no.
And else people are going on White Lives Matter as well because they're trying to counteract it because that poor lad passed away. It was murdered.
Yeah, but as it was pointed out on a lot of videos, and I agree with it, where were all the people coming out to say, from politics saying, "Oh, this is terrible. This shouldn't have happened." Yeah, Whereas when it was George Floyd, everyone was saying, "Oh, it's terrible, it's wrong, it's wrong." But there's not been such an outpouring of, sort of condemnation from the political establishment for this
That's
guy's
right.
poor death.
But and obviously there is sort of now, but only because there's been pressure.
Only because there's been publicity on it. Yeah.
Yes, it has.
That's the key
Everywhere.
thing. Unless there's pressure, the narrative will stay. Unless there's a little bit of pressure, and they're like, "Oh, well, we better say something."
Mm.
And I don't know why that is. I'm sure we could speculate as to why, and I think it's wrong. But you are absolutely right, Matt. If all lives matter, not just because you're black or because you're white or whatever, why aren't you saying the same thing? Why aren't you doing the same thing for people who like that? What has happened? Surely, a life's a life, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, well, those police, they should definitely be fucking sacked, laughing at the bloke and he's saying, I've been stabbed. And they didn't even bother to check, has he been stabbed?
Oh, yeah, I know. He said, I don't think so, mate. And it's like, what?
And it's like, hang on, you got a bloke standing there, right? He says, he's the perpetrator, he stabbed me. So it's like, well, let's arrest both of them. That's what you do until you find out what's going on. And then you look, oh, this guy's been stabbed. Well, that guy hasn't. So who do you think did the fucking stabbing?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Clearly, the other person had a knife. It doesn't matter what the type of knife they had, right? They got stabbed. And then obviously they're talking about the Sikh knife and all that because it's a religious thing. They can carry it around. Well, what the fuck's going on there? Surely, I don't care if it's ceremonial or not. It is a weapon.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a ceremonial.
You're not carry any type of knife. So why are they getting away with it? Yeah, because it's religious. But they shouldn't have a bladed.
Well, that's right. And that's not getting at the. And you got to point out though, Jackie, it's not getting at the religion, because if they had the knife and it's ceremonial, fine, but don't carry it around with you. Doesn't matter what your religion state. Don't carry it, because again, it's our country and we want to keep our citizens safe. It's like there's a few reasons why people carry knives around. Say for a baker, or a chef is a better option. They will sometimes carry a whole lot of knives with them because they're going to their workplace, or they're coming back from their workplace. But they're not going to be going down the pub at night going, I've got this on me. Yeah, I've got this on me because I'm a baker and I like to carry my knives around with me, because that's not the fucking thing to do, is it? Fucking world's gone mad.
It's like when they say people are tooled up, but who says they're not come back from a job and they've got tools on them? Not everybody's going to have a vehicle with tools in. Some people could be walking because maybe it could be an apprentice or something like that. But again, you still have to watch, and you've probably got to carry something saying, this is for job only. You're going from A to B. There's nowhere going in between. You're not taken to places where it can affect somebody's life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just should be like there is a ban of weapons. It should include ceremonial knives as well.
Exactly.
There's no reason to carry it around. I don't know why they're allowed to carry it around, or if they even are able to. I'm just going by what has been said, right? I'll look it up. But there's no reason, if it's a ceremonial knife, there's no reason to carry it around with you all the time.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter what religion you are. Don't carry weapons. Because it's like going, I'm a samurai, and I am a fully fledged samurai, and I've got the fucking sword, with them,
the katana.
Yeah, the katana. I've got that. Oh, why are you carrying that? It's my religion.
You leave it at home. You're not walking around with it, because at the end of the day, you're going to get confronted. What are you going to do? You're going to reach for that weapon and use it. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's much different from. It's much different from. Oh, why are you carrying? Why have you got this spliff on you? Because I'm a Rastafarian. That's my religion. You're not going to You're not going to go around stabbing fucking people in the eyes with your fucking lit joint, are you?
No. Yeah? Exactly.
I know what you mean. it's a pretty pathetic excuse anyway, saying he was racist to me, so I stabbed him 5 times. Really?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, he was racist to me, so I had to kill him. Oh, right. Is that so? If somebody just like slurs you, even if that was true, even if it was true, if they slur you, they must die.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what went on in regards to what the poor lad who died said and so forth, or how it actually happened, or the confrontation. I don't know anyway. I don't know if it's been let out. But whatever, like you say, whatever happened, didn't deserve to die.
No, he didn't. It shouldn't have been resulted in him getting attacked like that, and then the family backing this their son up, saying, "Oh yeah, oh he deserved it." It was like, no, he said if he said words, fair enough. He shouldn't have said them, but he didn't deserve that. No way.
If he's been racist, you ring the police and you get him done for a race crime.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You don't fucking stab people. Is this the answer to things? Is it right? Oh, I don't like this person. He said something upset me, so he must die.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! 21 years he got in fucking jail. It should be fucking 221 fucking years.
Yeah, definitely. Bloody disgusting it is. I knew this would be everywhere though, because when we watched it when it not long happened, and it's like, no, freaking way.
You think about it, and it's going to be like, what, in 21 years he's going to be eligible to come out after taking somebody's fucking life? That's bullshit.
Yeah, not bloody right at all. He should be bloody jailed for life, and then bloody family and them sent back. It's like, no, don't do that. Freaking,
Well, sadly, it's not his family's fault, but I mean, if they sided with his son and said, like, oh, he had the right to fucking kill him, it's like, well, calls into question the safety of them to be around the fucking streets,
community.
Isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, totally wrong. And then the poor guy, when they were bloody handcuffing him, and bloody basically you could see the colour was draining from him, and then he's getting his bloody Miranda rights bloody read out to him, and the poor guy was basically dying. That's all they were concerned about. No. Sorry, no. Like you said, both the guys involved should have been both handcuffed. Then obviously they would have seen that the other guy was injured and then could have got him sorted. Instead, they were too busy piddling about and saying that, nah.
I mean, it comes to something, and the standards of the police have fucking dropped so badly over the years, and it comes to something when somebody says I've been stabbed, and the police are just fucking standing there like, oh, okay, I don't believe you. Yeah, like, you don't believe me. Well, why didn't you have a feel of this fucking blood coming out of my chest then?
Yeah, exactly. That's awful.
Unbelievable. Fucking, and again, see, I mean, what will happen is the police they'll just get sacked. That'll be it. We sacked them, and it's like, really? Like, fucking, that's criminal fucking, that's criminal negligence in your job. That's known as malfeasance in office. That's fucking, you should be in jail for being such a bunch of fucking lame-ass, shithead, prick police officers. You should go to fucking jail for the fucking stupidity you fucking displayed there in lack of judgment.
Yes. That is awful, that. Like people were saying, that could be your son or nephew or, it's just.
Yeah, the police officer's resigned, is he? Okay, thanks for that. But it's not enough, though, is it?
No, it isn't.
It's not enough. I mean, okay, fair enough. They might not have been able to have saved this guy's life. But the very first thing they should have done is when he says, I am injured, is be radioing for an ambulance. That's the first thing they should do. We need an ambulance. Says he's injured, get an ambulance over here. And it's like, well, how is he injured? How are you injured? Let's have a look at what's wrong with you. Because it is a police officer's role is to render assistance to people who are injured.
Yes. This is why people don't trust the police. It just makes you despise them even more. So when any crimes happen, this is where people start taking it into their own hands. And that's what's going to end up happening. They're pushing it that way.
And some police do like the idea of torturing people. And they do it in subtle ways, but whatever way they do it, they like it. You know, they like torturing people. As they put the cuffs on you, they tighten them right up so they're fucking cutting off the circulation, and then they make you sit with them behind your back in a fucking police car, so you're absolutely in fucking pain. They like that. And when you say to them it's painful, they say to you, what do they say? The standard fucking thing is like, well, it's not meant to be comfortable.
Dicks.
It's not meant to be fucking comfortable. Well, would you like it if I did this to you, officer? Would you like it if I fucking cuffed you up really fucking tight and then made you sit on your fucking hands in cuffs? Would you like that? No. But it's all right for them to give it out, but they wouldn't like it back.
No, they don't. They wouldn't at all. They should bloody get their own medicine back and bloody find out what it's like. I bet they're so bloody whinging. See how you like it then. Bloody, something's really pissed me off. And I knew right away when John came on right away, said, I already know what you're going to talk about right away. Could see it on his face and I knew it. Bloody hell.
I mean, if I were the family, I would be looking at suing those police officers for damages for not rendering assistance, you know.
Exactly.
Sue them for money personally.
That lad who got killed, was he actually, have they said that he was stabbed by that Sikh knife though? I'm just asking as a...
Yeah, well, he must have been, because he's been put in jail for 21 years for the murder of the guy, so yeah.
Yeah, 5 times. They didn't really give him any type of first aid or anything. It's just like...
I know that. I was just looking, because I didn't know much about this blade and why it's worn. So in order for them to carry it under religious immunity, as you want to call it, for want of a better word, there's 5, what they call 5Ks, yeah? Which a Sikh must be wearing in order for it to be sort of not classed as just carrying a weapon. So like they'd have uncut hair, they'd carry a wooden comb of a certain type, I won't go into what it is, and also a steel bracelet, and then the sacred undergarment. Right, so basically a turban and everything else and all that other stuff in order to be allowed to carry it, and it can't be used as a weapon as well. So, and guarantee those guys, the guy who did it, I don't know, I haven't seen the actual guy itself. Were they wearing that at the time? Probably not. So, no, like you Daniel.
Said, sorry, yeah.
So, what, like you said, Matt, it's going to be very slim chance that that individual was using it for religious purposes, walking around in their full attire as a Sikh. Yeah,
that was definitely with intent to bloody do something.
Well, yeah, clearly, as obviously it's happened. Yes. What I'm getting at is I've just gone down the rabbit hole and had a look, and yes, I have had a haircut now. So did you notice that the other day when I spoke to you? Anyway, so so surely they should have looked at that as well and gone, well, actually, well, why are you carrying it then?
Exactly, that should be.
You know what I mean? You're not in your full Sikh outfit. You're a religious outfit, which states under law that you can, because you're exempt, because you're carrying it as a ceremonial thing.
Yeah,
but they haven't mentioned anything like that. You know what I mean? So I can see where it's all coming from.
Exactly.
And the thing is, as well, it's like if I was to say, like, John punched me, and a police officer would say, "Are you admitting to it?" No. Right. Well, you're under arrest because there's been an allegation made against you. Boom. So John's in cuffs. And then if John said, "No, it was he punched me," and you go, "Well, are you admitting to it?" And I went, "No." And they go, "Well, you're in cuffs as well." Boom. You're both in cuffs because there's conflicting information. They've got to take you both to the station and question you. So immediately, both people should be fucking handcuffed, because you don't know what the truth is behind the story. You just simply don't know. And the fact that the guy who did the stabbing was just allowed to stand there and fucking, you know, no problem at all, not arrested, nothing, you know, whilst the guy he stabbed is the one fucking on the floor. That's just ridiculous.
Yes. That is all. It is.
Yeah, that's where it's fallen down. That's. You're right, Matt. I mean, it's terrible. And obviously, where do they go from here? You know, like you say, there's no bringing the person back. There's terrible things have happened here, and what's going to happen to the coppers who were there at the time.
Yeah. Jason Todd, the zombie, says the Sikh lad was wearing the knife when the police first got there. Bingo.
Well, okay, fair enough. But if he was wearing that, fine. But what else was he wearing? Because it's specific. There is specific. Like I said, you got the kesha, which is the uncut hair. Have they got uncut hair? And are they got possibly a turban or whatever it's called? A dastar, I think it's called. And then did they have the kanga with them, which is the wooden comb? And the steel? Were they wearing a steel bracelet? And were they using the sacred undergarment, which whatever that is, right? So all that, and obviously as we say, he had the carpet. So all them 5 things would add up to him being a fully pledged Sikh walking around into the ceremonial stuff. Yeah, clearly he probably wasn't. So yeah, why is he carrying the knife? Because you're not allowed, because it then becomes just an offensive weapon.
Yep.
And that's the offensive. It's under the Offensive Weapons Act, 1998. It's only there for genuine religious observations.
Exactly. So that should have been kept at home. Don't take that out in public. It's just what I mean. At the end of the day, if he says, "Oh yeah, I could carry it," who says? But obviously, it was something that was used. It didn't fall off.
There we go. Yeah. So someone else, Neil said, he had another blade. It wasn't ceremonial. He used it, and his mother hid it. There we go. So it clearly wasn't to do with that. In regards to the racial bit, I don't know. I don't know what we said. We weren't there.
No, we weren't.
Clearly, they've gone for the racial thing. Whether they started it, he started it, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's their words against his, and at the end of the day, he's lost his life over something. But whether you've said something verbally to another, is that worth taking their life? No, it isn't. It's something.
And I'm not taking. By the way, I'm not taking sides. I'm just looking at it logically, and just breaking it down. There's clearly bad issues everywhere on it.
Well, I know what you're saying, John, and it's interesting. I would like to, just for curiosity now, find out whether or not he was full ceremonial to be carrying that blade. But I have to question whether or not, even if it's for your religious reasons, that's unacceptable, is walking around the streets with a fucking ceremonial blade. No.
No, I agree, Matt. I agree that, like I said earlier, ceremonial or not, the law should be changed, but you can't do that. You can't have it. But as the law stands currently, if they're all in the ceremonial, blah blah blah, it's for it's ceremonial purposes and it's for observation. So it's carried as part of the genuine religious observance. And that's what is under, and it's got to be worn discreetly beneath the clothing. So that's in law. They can do that because it's to do with religion. That's a religious law, whatever. So I get that bit. It's a religious defense thing, basically.
I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with it because it's like, again, it's another piece of your religion you brought into somebody else's country and you think you can just ram it down people's throats. You know, if you want to wear some strange underpants or garments or whatever, and you have a turban and a fucking comb, not a problem. Blade, no.
Yeah, but that's
no
the thing,
to the blade.
That's the thing, right? What the statement you've just said there, right, could be deemed saying, well, that's against their religion, right?
Well, that's too bad. You're in the UK.
Yeah, I know it's too bad. But
go to a country that allows you to carry a blade.
Yeah. Fair play.
There aren't going to be many countries out there that allow you to do it, but if you can find one,
what I'm getting at more, it doesn't matter whether it's religious or not. Don't carry whether it's ceremonial or not, it is still could be used as a weapon, right?
Yeah.
You can't change it, so change the law so it states that even if it is of religious purpose, it's not being offensive to that religion. It is the law that you cannot carry a knife or a weapon like that, such as other weapons, right? Fucking get rid of that straight away then. Yeah. It's all to do with wording. It's not because a lot of time people go down that religious fucking rabbit hole, Okay, fine. Do that as ceremonial purposes, but not in public with an offensive weapon. Because at the end of the day, whether it's religious or whether it's fucking not, it is still a blade. It is still a weapon that can be used to kill someone, harm someone.
Yes.
It's just like saying, well, you know what? I'm a cricketer. I'll go down and I'll just carry a bat everywhere with me.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Or like I said,
Doesn't work.
a stupid thing saying, I'm a fucking samurai. I'll have a weapon. You know what I mean? And there's other examples, but just get rid of it. Get rid of that bit. Forget about that. And you know, people kick up. Oh well, you're getting rid of our religious rights. Well, you're not. You're protecting everybody around you in case you get angry and do something. Not saying you would, but everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If you get into a certain situation, somebody may pull a knife. Somebody may pull an offensive weapon, and then we're all in this shit. So get rid of it, and then that gets rid of that argument. Go for a piss. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh,
bye.
okay. Bye.
I mean, why can't the Sikh community say, you know, it's got to be a ceremonial knife, but why does it have to be sharpened and with a point? Because if it wasn't sharp and it didn't have a point, it would be hardly able to be used as a weapon. So the fact that it's sharpened or with a point means it is meant to be used as a weapon.
Yeah, it's using as intended.
So why not have some sort of design of ceremonial knife that is inoffensive, that couldn't cause harm? It still technically looks like a knife. It represents what you're meant to carry, but it couldn't be used as an offensive weapon, apart from to hit you with. You know?
Yeah.
But like, why does it have to be a sharpened, pointed, ready for use, if necessary, offensive weapon? If they're allowed to do it, why can't everybody else walk around with fucking knives on them then?
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to get confronted, somebody's going to be stupid, they're going to grab it and then they're going to use it. So don't have it there. Take it out of the equation.
Yeah, don't have it. Don't have it at all. Huh?
Yeah, I was saying, John, why can't the Sikh community say, look, you know, obviously this is a problem. We'll redesign this ceremonial knife so that it's got a definite blunted edge on it. It cannot be used to slice or cut, and it doesn't have a point on it. It's rounded off. Then it can still be ceremonial. You can still carry it, but all you can do is hit somebody with it. You know, but you can't use it in that sense as an offensive weapon. I mean, just even that would be better than what they're fucking doing right now, which sounds to me like an
I partially agree. I partially agree, but the knife itself, it's curved, so even if it's blunted, right, you could easily fucking shove it in, right? Get rid of it altogether. It's like saying, like the Gurkhas have knives and they have the ceremonial Gurkha knives and all that, yeah? It's like saying, well, we're blunting these knives and it'll be all right. Well, no, because it's still a weapon. It's still, don't have it unless you're doing ceremonial whatever. Yeah, don't have it at all on your person unless you have a specific. You've got a specific reason why you're there. You're in your full ceremonial, going to or from somewhere else. You know, such as like obviously we have like the Gurkhas. They're obviously part of the army, etc. But they're not going to go around carrying all the knives and walk down the town with it all. They shouldn't do anyway, and then go and fucking stab someone up. It's the same principle. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. You know, the only it's like, well, all right then. So I'll just carry a gun or so. No, because in Britain, the only people who carry guns who have license, like police, army, and if they have it, they're on duty. They're not walking around with it when they're not on duty, are they? If they are, because they've got to travel it to a car to put it away after being at an incident, it goes into like a case at the back. It looks like a fishing rod, right? It literally looks like a fishing case. It's not going to do anybody harm in a fucking case. You know, they have to get it out to do something.
Yeah, they've got to put it away for safety at the end of the day, so there's no accidents.
Yeah, you just got to eliminate that issue, that problem, because I get where you're coming from, Matt. But I think personally, I'd have to disagree because obviously that particular knife, it's curved, and even if it was blunt, you could still do a bit of damage, couldn't you? You know what I mean?
I mean, I would be interested to hear why, from this point going forward, why the Sikh community would try to justify this after this point. You know, I mean, why would that be allowed in their community? Why would they see that as acceptable or required now after what's happened? I would have thought there'd be quite a bit of discussion. I would have thought with them on actually removing this as well internally, not just from a law point of view, coming down and saying you can't have it. But I would have thought that they would have been saying, like, you know what, we shouldn't really be doing this because this is, you know, this is going to cause problems down the line. We're going to have this will happen again, you know, and if
like
we
Neil
should
said, like Neil said in this, the last part of his comments is the Sikh community have been shamed by this family. Yeah, it's got shame. It's gone shame on the Sikh community. The same as any, you know, same as any religion. If somebody does something from whatever religion, and it's really bad, it's shame on that community, isn't it? It's the same principle.
Yeah. I would imagine that they.
I'm going to be cutting you off soon.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, fucking sorry, Jackie.
It's all right, mate. No, it's been interesting. It is.
Before you
Good to
go,
have a good debate.
here's an interesting one for you.
Right, I'm going to go for a pee, so you can have your little debate.
All right, then we'll wait for you to sort of get back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go upstairs for a wee, and then I'll come back.
She just wanted to finish the live stream because she needed a piss. Dear. No, I was going to mention about a video which was posted this week where a couple of explorers were out and about, and
yeah, you sent that to me. I know you can say
the owners of the place got a bit argy-bargy, but I'll save the best bit till last. But yeah,
I get that. I know what you're going to say there. And there's 2 points of view there, isn't there?
Yeah,
and I want to say it, but I can't until you mention it. I'll wait,
yeah.
man. I'll wait, bated breath. Yeah. Breathe, John. Breathe in, out.
Yeah. Jason Todd the Zombie says it should only be worn when you're in a place of worship. Oh, she dropped out. Oh dear.
Jackie.
It should only be worn when you're in a place of worship. I agree. You know, these things are really to do with, you know, your worship, not like, you know, taking that onto the streets. You know, it's like with somebody who's got a firearms license, it's frowned upon. I think it's probably actually not allowed for them to walk down the road with a fucking shotgun in their hands through a main shopping street. They're not allowed to do it for very good reason, you know.
Yeah.
And likewise, you know, somebody who happens to need this sword for religious reasons should not be walking around publicly with it. It should be something that's carried in the back of a vehicle, or it has to be in a case of some description, and only to be carried from that place to the place where they worship. Like, you know, like you can't just drive around with a shotgun on your passenger seat of your car when you're not using it. It's meant to be in the back in a locked
sealed case
thing. Yeah. I mean, like you can take it out if you're on private land and you can keep it in the car then as you're driving from A to B, but you wouldn't be driving down a main road with that shotgun on the passenger seat. You know, it's not really the way that things are meant to be done. You know, there's a chance that you might want to use it for something wrong, or, you know, somebody could get into your car and grab it, you know, and that's why you would keep it in the boot. So it's out of view, out of access to other people. You know, you don't have those sorts of things readily accessible. But,
that's right. And that's why there's laws for it as well.
Yeah. I mean, they're not even supposed to be.
Sorry, go on.
Even in your house, you know, you have to have a gun safe, and it has to be put in your safe and locked. It's not meant to be accessible by anyone else in your household. Only the person who's licensed, and only that safe is meant to be open when that is being used. And you can allow somebody else to use it when in the correct scenario under supervision, but you're responsible for it. You know, you are the person responsible for it. And when it's not in use, it has to go away.
No, absolutely. I mean, I remember someone years ago. They basically did rabbiting and so forth. They had shotguns, and it was in their house. It was locked away upstairs or in a closet somewhere. You know, in a metal box with a key. He was the only one who had that key. He took it out. He showed me bits and pieces and how to do it, but it was under a controlled environment. You know, and afterwards he put it away. And he explained to me exactly what you just said, Matt, as well. I said, like, he said, I allowed it, and he had licenses. He said, but there's very strict, you know, how I'm allowed to have this license. There's very strict bits, and you can't falter from it. And I think that should be for most fucking things like that.
Yeah. Well, Jackie got kicked off, I think, so she's trying to get herself back in at the moment.
She kicked her own thing off. Fucking hell.
Kicked herself out, or she got jumped off. The internet went down or something. She's probably trying to work out how to get back into her own stream now.
And there you are, taking the piss because I'm on Wi-Fi. Hello, at least it's fucking stable.
Well, it is now, yeah.
Yeah, because I think I was uploading something or downloading something, so it was all going a bit tits up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, weapons are a dodgy one, really. I mean, you know, it's. But I'm in big disagreement of the police use of tasers as well, because they seem to pull them out and use them just to get people to comply. You know, not because they're actually doing anything threatening. And I believe in the US and the UK, there has to be considered to be a threat of violence from the person before you can use a taser. But they just go, oh, you're not doing what I want you to do immediately, so I'm going to pull the taser out, make you comply. You know, it's not supposed to be used for that, and it is very routinely. It's like, get out of your car, or you won't get out. You're not complying with me. Right, I'm going to tase you through your window because you're not complying with me. Well, there's no threat of violence. It's just somebody is just not being cooperative. So it's being used as a torture tool, you know, to get people to comply, which is, I disagree with the use of that. Especially
when they decide to use the Terrorism Act.
Yeah.
And like, there's very, very strict reasons why they will do that, why they use that bit of law. But it's commonly abused. It's commonly used. Yeah, it's abused a lot. And I'm sure you've seen things like I have, videos where there's people, you know, like an auditor or something other, and they explain what they're doing, but they haven't given names or whatever because they don't have to, whatever. And then they go, well, under the Terrorism Act. It's like, well, the strict rules under it, if they think they're a threat and they've got something on them which was going to cause harm to many people, or you know, or some other bits on there. And then and then when they get schooled a little bit, they're like, oh fuck, we're not allowed. We couldn't really have done that.
And you think how many times they use that excuse? Just, you know, I mean, I think I've had it said to me once. I mean, I swear somebody's, you know, under the Terrorism Act, we're going to search you now. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Like, you know, but it's like, I'm thinking, but under the Terrorism Act, you're fucking having a laugh. Like, I mean, what the fuck, cheeky bastards.
Yeah, you know? I think now I'd say, well, why do you think I'm a threat?
Yeah.
Obviously, having it being recording it, because there's various means, you know, then they've got to say yes, haven't they? If they say no, say, well, I don't want to be searched for it. There's no reason to search me for it. I've given you all the information you want, other than my name, because I don't need to, or what I'm doing.
Yeah. And the other one they like to use a lot is you match the description of somebody that we're looking for in this area who's committed a crime, so therefore we have a right, we want to search you. And it's like, no, you fucking don't. There's nobody who looks like me who's fucking doing what I'm doing, hanging around. It's just like, oh, you can just fucking say anything you like, you know. Oh, because of the moon is made of fucking cheese, we got to search you, you know.
Yeah, it's like the old back in the day when I used to do delivery. I was a bakery delivery driver, so I would be going all over the place, like around here, and delivering early hours of the morning in a big white van. And I had numerous times where they would stop me, and they say, "All right, what are you doing? Why? What's the matter?" And then they sort of go, "Well, we've had a spate of burglaries in the area involving white vans."
Mm.
And I got to the point where, as I went, "You got a lot of white vans going around here. Then every week, if you want to keep pulling me over, you can check you can check the car, you can check the fucking van, whatever. But like, why?" And most times I tell it's because it's late at night or early hours of the morning and they're bored. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And I even said it to her once. I said, "Oh, right, so don't tell me you've had a spate of burglaries in the area involving white vans."
Yeah.
They couldn't fucking say anything. They went, you know, I'm like, "Well," I said, "I'm a delivery driver. Go and have a look. Help yourself to a cake if you really want. Do what you fucking like." But that's what used to happen.
They've said to me, because I mean I've been pulled over so many fucking times, it's just boring, you know. But you're out late at night, you know, like 1 o'clock in the morning, driving back from somewhere, and they pull you over and they go, "Oh, so where have you been tonight then?" And I go, "What does it matter? You know, I could tell you anything. You're not going to know whether I'm telling you the truth. What does it actually matter? You know, it's just an irrelevant question. You know, you just fit what you're fishing for, like, you know." And they say, "Well, it's a bit," and then they come on to the classic. "Well, it's a bit late to be out, isn't it, sir?" And I feel like saying to them, "You can fuck right off. It's a free country. I can be out at any time of the day or fucking night I like. Yeah, and it's got nothing to do with you whatsoever."
I've said that. I've said that to a copper once. I've
Yeah.
also, when they pulled me over, I actually said, "What are you pulling me over for?" Because they said, "Can you get out of the car? Have you got your details?" I said, "Yeah, what are you pulling me over for?" And they said, "Oh, well, we saw you driving along." I said, "All right, how was I driving?" Because he got them then. How was I driving? Well, you think I'm driving badly? Or what am I doing? Tell me the offence.
Yeah.
When you tell me the offence, I can say yes or no then, can't I? When I said, and they said, "Oh, well, people driving badly," but I said, "Well, was I driving badly there? Is that what you're saying? Are you accusing me of driving badly?" They went, "No, you're driving all right then." I said, "Well, why have you pulled me over then?" Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Although I didn't go any further on that occasion because I did. No, I'll go into the story off air with you, but you will laugh at it. I'm not going to say I'm not, but it was funny.
I got really angry with a fucking copper one night. He goes, "Oh, you were speeding." I said, "Well, you're not a speed cop, so how the fuck are you going to do me for that then?" I said, and he was like, "All right, well, you know, I'm going to check out your details." I said, "Look, just fucking, if you're going to give me a fucking ticket, give me the fucking ticket quickly so I can get on with what I'm doing because you're just wasting my time." And he said, "Oh, you've got a bad attitude on you." And I said, "No, I just disagree with being fucking stopped because I'm out late at night when I'm not fucking doing anything wrong." You know, it's like, you know, you've got nobody else to pick on. So you pick on fucking anyone that comes along. That's all it is.
Yeah, make up a charge because you're bored.
Yeah.
Of course, they've got to record everything now, haven't they? So it's like, okay, then prove what I was doing. Prove that I was speeding or going across the road in a bad fashion, which would cause dangerous driving. Prove it to me.
Yeah. Oh, and the times that you can ask for footage and it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's been deleted." All right. So you've got to have body cam. You're meant to have it on, but for, you know, 3 times out of 5 that anyone requests, "Sorry, sir, we deleted the footage by accident." It's just an accidental thing that happens, sir. But no, you're not having footage which you could use against us. Yeah. No.
There we have it. Oh, she can't get on apparently.
Oh dear. Well, this stream's going to keep going then, isn't it? 24 hours this stream will be still live for them.
Do what you want. I'm going to come off in a minute.
Yeah. Oh, well. You could come on your phone and then you can end the stream. You said, "Oh, I don't want to come on the phone." Well, because your phone is not brilliant at going on. That's not really the point, is it? It's just come on and go and then press stop the stream. Fucking that's the main point.
She's scared. I can't stop the stream.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to drop down then, Matt, and I'm sure you will, unless you want to carry on. I'll just listen to you.
Well, no, I'm not going to just talk on my own. I tell you what. She's not you. Then let's mention what we were going to say then, right? About this. These lads were walking down a lane. They'd gone to a house. I wanted to say it with Jackie was here so she could comment because she may not have known about it. Anyway, they're walking down this lane. This bloke goes, get out here, and they goes, yeah, right, mate, we're going. And then he walks up to him, and for no reason at all, he pulls out a gun, pistol, which is totally illegal in the UK. You cannot have a pistol, full stop. And he goes, look at that. Yeah, and shows it to them, which is like, yeah. You can see that these guys have got torches, cameras, and they're filming. And this fucking idiot, yeah, right, pulls a gun out. And they say, oh, you're going to pull a gun out, are you? You're going to shoot us, are you? You're going to fucking shoot us, are you? And he acknowledges then, he continues the conversation. He goes, well, you never know, or something like that, he says. And it's like, and they go like, oh, you're going to fucking shoot us then? Are you going to murder us, are you, with your gun? And he says, oh, it's only a 2.2. So he's shown the gun. He's talked about the caliber, right? And it's like, whether it's a fake pistol or not is irrelevant, because you cannot brandish a pistol at somebody because it will be assumed to be real, right? And it will be treated as such, even if it's not a real gun. In a court of law, it will be treated as if it was a real gun, because you cannot.
And the only leg he's got to stand on is private property. That's the only thing.
Can't even own a fucking pistol. So if you brandish it, it's
it's the weapon at the end of the day.
He's implying it is a gun, and a pistol is totally illegal. Now, I'm fairly sure that that's a mandatory jail sentence for having a pistol. So if it's real, that's a mandatory jail sentence. So that fucking idiot going out to see who these people are to chase them off his land has literally gone, look what I got. I'm going to jail. Boom.
Oh, yeah, I seen that video because you sent it to me. I watched that. That was bloody disgusting, that.
I mean...
my internet's been an arse. This is why I want to get rid of these, because they're arses.
He couldn't even brandish a shotgun, even if he had a shotgun license. He can't be walking down that lane with that shotgun. He can't, because it's an implied threat that you're going to use it to kill somebody because you've got the shotgun. Yeah, that would show premeditation, and at the very least, even if he had a license, he would lose his license and he wouldn't be allowed to carry. To have a gun again after that.
Though, I mean, being devil's advocate on private land, he could easily be going around with a shotgun. This is not the pistol, and so, well, I was out just in my own land at whatever time it is at night, pheasant hunting, whatever you fucking want to say, and I saw intruders on there. Because then he's got a right, because it's private land. Because obviously, you can protect your own land. I know it's a fucking bit of a nightmare in the courts, but it's been proven, like was it that guy Tony, whatever his name was, who shot those burglars. It's the same principle. So you've got people trespassing. It's a civil trespass, yes, but it's private land, so you're protecting your land. So, but the fact it was a pistol, it's a different matter.
A pistol makes it totally illegal.
Absolutely,
but I would argue that even if he was out at night with a gun, if he approaches people with that gun, shows it to them. So if it was a shotgun and he went, look at this. And they said, well, you're going to murder us with it. And he's like, well, it's only a 12 bore. Well, that's well, that's implying.
I suppose if it's uncocked, he had it over his arm and gone, look, you need to get off the land. And then they showed hostility, which in one sense they did in that video, but they showed hostility. I think then they would take a different view.
Yeah.
Because then they've been threatened. But obviously, in the pistol instance, I agree with you. Yeah, not allowed it. Shouldn't have fucking brandished it.
he should have, you know, at the very least, in order to protect himself, should have, if he had some sort of like a shotgun, he would have taken it back to the house, called the police, and then shouted to these people, "Get off my land," you know, and don't approach them, because if you approach them, you're instigating contact. You're the one instigating any issues that come from that onwards, because you could have actually sought no contact, which would have made it totally defensible for you. Then if they tried to get in after that point, then you're defensing, you know, you're being defensive, you're retreating into your house, and they've decided to come in. But when you come from your house or from your land to them armed, I think you lose a lot of your defense to say that you were actually, you know, feeling in fear. I mean, you've got a fucking shotgun, for fuck's sake. What would you have to fear? If it was in your house and you had to use it because people were coming in, that's a different matter. If you take it out of your house, or if you have it on you and you walk towards somebody and show them it in order to imply, "I'll use this on you," then you're not the defensive person anymore. Now you become the offensive person.
There's a fair play. Mixed, but depends on the religion.
Yeah. And was he wearing his special purple
ceremonial
purple knickers? Yeah, that allow you to shoot people. As long as you've got your purple knickers on, you can shoot people on your own land on a Thursday evening. Yeah.
Ooh, the internet might
British law allows that.
Right, I'm going to go, folks. Thanks for
right.
having me up, Jackie. Nice to speak to you, Matt.
I totally hope to see that guy gets in trouble for that, because that is out of order.
That'll be good to see.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yes.
Right, see you later.
See you later, John. Thank you for coming on.
It's all right. You're welcome. See you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Yes. Now, I'm just going to leave this one. Oh, is he buggered off? Right. Hang on. Let me get rid of this one. This one can go if I can boot this one out. Add to stage.
Right. Basically, I'm going to say, right, thank you. I'm going to say thank you for John Lawrence coming on. Thank you for John Bengal coming on. And thank you for Matt Secret Vault coming on. So it's all cool. Now, I'm actually going to call it a night. The funny thing is the internet had to go when I went to the toilet. Must just show that it's just bloody well dangerous. Do not leave the room to go to the toilet. Anyway, I'm going to say thank you for everybody who came in. Thank you for people that stayed and put up with it all. And anyway, I hope you have a good night or good afternoon, wherever you may be. And thank you for being here. And I will catch you all later. Bye.